What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another blazing Naruto story. What if Mei Terumi falls in love with Naruto? If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. Naruto Uzumaki sighed as he walked to the training grounds, ignoring the villagers' glares. He had a lot on his mind, and frankly he was confused. Flashback. But sensei, Naruto complained, as he glared at his sensei, Kakashi Hatake, who sighed. No Naruto, I will not train you. Naruto glared, but why not? Kakashi shrugged, because, I am going to be training Sasuke. Besides, he held up his hand to stop Naruto, who had opened his mouth to argue. If what the Hokage has told me is true, then you are not going to want me to train you. What the hell does that mean? The blonde asked angrily. Kakashi's eyes smiled. You'll see, now go to training ground 8 and wait there, the Hokage has seen to your new sensei. Naruto opened his mouth to argue, but Kakashi pointed to the door. Trust me Naruto, he said smiling. You are going to love this surprise, I know I am. End flashback. Training ground 8, the 14-year-old Jinchuriki muttered. I guess I have to wait, I swear if this sensei is as late as Kakashi sensei, I will kill the old man. With your luck? A voice in Naruto's head spoke. This mysterious sensei will be twice as late as the Cyclops. Shut up Kurama, Naruto sighed, as he leaned against a tree to take a nap. Hiruzen Sarutobi sighed as he signed yet another document, before moving on to the next one. Damn brat, he muttered darkly, telling me he knows how to do all this paperwork in minutes and then making me beg before telling me I have to earn the answer. He muttered some more choice words about his favorite blonde-haired ninja, before there was a knock on the door. Come in, he said, still annoyed. Hokage-sama, the Mizukage and her guards are here, his secretary informed him, bowing slightly. Hiruzen nodded, send them in please. He sat up straighter as the Mizukage walked in, a beautiful woman of only 22, with ankle-length red hair, green eyes, with one being covered by her bangs. Blue painted nails and a blue strapless dress that fell to her knees. Mizukage-sama, I hope your travel here was pleasant? He asked nicely. The Mizukage smiled sweetly. Yes, thank you Hokage-sama. Hiruzen smiled as the Mizukage shifted almost restlessly. A little anxious to meet your fiancé? He asked kindly. The Mizukage blushed slightly in embarrassment, a little. She admitted, while her older bodyguard snorted. Ow, she said to the guard, who visibly flinched. Shut up or I will kill you. Ow gulped. Why yes Mizukage-sama. Hiruzen smiled. Very well, you and your guards will be staying at the Lion's Mane Inn. Your rooms are already prepared, and the keys are waiting for you. The Mizukage smiled. Thank you Hokage-sama, she said before looking at her two guards. Ow, Chojuro, take the bags to the rooms. Both guards nodded, yes Mizukage. Once they left, the Mizukage turned to Hiruzen. Hokage-sama, where can I find my fiancé? Hiruzen chuckled. Naruto is at training ground 8. If you would like my guards to escort you I would be happy to. Hiruzen never finished his sentence as the Mizukage shunshined the second she heard where Naruto was located. Naruto, he said to nobody in particular, you may be an evil ass, but you are one lucky bastard. Kit, wake up, Kurama said, waking his sleeping host. I think your new sensei will be arriving any minute now. About damn time, Naruto muttered as he stretched. True to his word, a couple feet to Naruto's left a figure appeared. Naruto's jaw dropped. She's beautiful. He thought, only for Kurama to erupt in a fit of laughter. Understatement of the century Kit. Hello, the woman said, smiling kindly. Are you Naruto? Naruto nodded dumbly. Why yes and you are? The woman smiled brightly. I am the 5th Mizukage, Mei Terumi. Shocked, Naruto immediately bowed. It's an honor Mizukage-sama. Mei smiled, so cute. There is no need for formalities, you can call me Mei, besides, and I don't want my future husband to call me by an honorific. I understand Mei. Wait, what? Mei nodded, you are my fiancé, and I am yours. When the hell did this happen? Naruto asked panicky. Mei shrugged, our parents arranged us to be married before you were born. Wait, you know who my parents are? Mei nodded, yes, your father is the 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze, and your mother is Kushina Uzumaki. Oh boy, Naruto muttered, before passing out. Mei hastily caught him. Maybe I should have been a bit more subtle. She mused, before sitting down with Naruto's head in her lap. 5 minutes later, Naruto groaned, man, I had one weird-ass dream. Oh, it wasn't a dream, Naruto-kun. Mei said, prompting Naruto to realize where his head was resting. I am so sorry, he hastily said, only to be shushed by Mei. Don't be, I was the one who put your head there, Naruto-kun. Naruto blushed, as Mei walked closer to him. So, what happens now? He asked. What do you mean? Mei asked, confused. I mean, what happens to me? If what you say is true, and I am your fiancé, then what happens to me? Mei blinked. Nothing for right now, she said, shrugging. Eventually you will come live with me and Kiri, don't worry, she said as Naruto began to panic. Your Hokage has thought everything out. You will become an ambassador of sorts, meaning you will live in both villages. Naruto thought about it before agreeing. Okay, so what do we do now? Mei shrugged. I will be training you in your match against Neji Hyuga. But first, tell me about yourself. Naruto grinned cheekily, ladies first. Naruto outright blushed at the family part, but continued on. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I like ramen, training, the old man, and Kurama, even if he is a sarcastic bastard. I dislike most of the villagers, those who leave their comrades, and the council. My dream is to find others like me and help them. Mei nodded, he's a good man. Okay, Naruto-kun, tell me what you know. I know academy jutsu, water walking, tree walking, shadow clones, the Rasengan, and some wind jutsu. Mei blinked. How do you know? I can also summon toads. Naruto remembered. Mei gawked. Wait, how you know how to summon and use the Rasengan? Naruto scratched the back of his head. Well, 2 years ago, when I was 12, I was beaten to near death by some drunken villagers, and I was forced into my mind where I met Kurama. We talked, and he healed me, but the old man sent for the perverted sage. The who? Mei asked. Jiraiya the Toad Sage. Anyway, after the pervert checked my seal, he asked if I wanted him to teach me, and I accepted. Mei frowned. What do you mean you were beaten? Naruto shrugged. Some of the villagers don't like me because of Kurama. So they beat you? Mei asked, releasing some killer intent. And not all the time. Note to self. Never piss her off. Why don't you defend yourself? Mei growled. Because I'm a ninja, it is my job to protect them, not kill them. Still, Mei began, only to be cut off by the arrival of Ao and Chojuro. Mizukage-sama, the bags are put away. Ao said, bowing slightly. Thank you, Ao. Chojuro, this is Naruto. Mei nodded at the blonde who was watching with a confused expression. Ao bowed to Naruto. Uzumaki-sama, he said politely. Naruto blinked. Just call me Naruto please. Ao nodded. Very well, Naruto-san. Mizukage-sama, what do you wish for us to do? Mei pulled out a roll of money and handed it to Ao and Chojuro. Take Naruto and get him something that doesn't scream kill me now. Ao nodded. Yes, Mizukage-sama. Hey, Naruto said indignantly, what's wrong with my outfit? It's bright orange, Mei said. It attracts the attention of everybody. Besides, I will not have my fiancé dying on a mission because he looked like the biggest target. Naruto blushed slightly before saying, but nobody will sell to me. Then henge. Naruto grumbled before hanging into a civilian boy he had seen walking through town earlier, and left with Ao and Chojuro. After arriving at a shop, Naruto picked out standard Anbu black pants, dark blue shirt, and a black coat with orange flames licking the bottom and the sleeves. Ao paid for it as well as 7 other exact copies. As Naruto walked back into Training Ground 8, Mei almost drooled at the sight of him. Wow, if he looks like this now, I wonder what he'll look like in a couple of years. You look good, Naruto-kun, she complimented before giggling at his blush. Thank you, Mei-chan, Naruto stuttered. Mei giggled again before becoming serious. I will be training you in ninjutsu as well as taijutsu. Ao will be teaching you history and genjutsu, and Chojuro will be training you in kenjutsu. Wait, kenjutsu? I don't have a sword. Naruto protested. Yes, Chojuro will take care of that. Now it is getting late. No point in beginning today. Be here tomorrow at 8 in the morning. Mei said, laughing as Naruto pouted. Yes, Mei-chan. See you tomorrow, kid, Ao said. Good, bye, Naruto, Chojuro stuttered, making Naruto sweat drop. I should introduce him to Hinata. Good night, Naruto-kun, Mei purred, before slamming Naruto into her sizable cleavage. Kit, I am so proud of you. Kurama cheered. Good morning, Naruto-kun, Mei said sweetly, as Naruto walked into the training ground. Morning, Mei-chan, Naruto called happily, so what are we going to learn today? Mei laughed, glad that her fiancé was happy. First I am going to test your nature affinity, she said as she pulled out a piece of paper. Just channel your chakra into this paper, and we'll see what nature affinities you have, be it lightning, fire, water, earth, or wind. Naruto took the paper and looked at it curiously. What will it do? Mei wanted to slap herself. Well, if it's fire, the paper will ignite and turn into ash. If it is wind, the paper will split in two. If it is lightning, the paper will wrinkle. If it is earth, the paper will turn into dirt and crumble away. If it is water, it will become damp. Naruto nodded and channeled some of his chakra into the paper. Ow whistled, wind, fire, and water? Damn brat, I knew I liked you. That is very good, Naruto-san. Chojuro said in his quiet voice while Mei just nodded. Naruto scratched his head in embarrassment. You're welcome kid, Kurama said. Wait, Kurama, you did this? Kurama snorted. Obviously, I'm the reason you have fire, and I enhanced your wind element as well. I guess you are good for something then, Naruto laughed as Kurama growled. Relax, I was only joking, thanks. Kurama says that it's because of him that I have fire, and that he strengthened my wind affinity. He informed his 3 new senseis, who nodded. Makes sense, Ao shrugged. Alright Naruto, Mei said. Chojuro is going to give you a katana today, and you will spend the better part of today learning how to wield it. Naruto shrugged before putting his hands together in a familiar sign, Shadow Clone Jutsu. He yelled, and 300 clones appeared before the baffled Kiri ninja. Alright, listen up, Naruto yelled to his clones. I want 100 of you to work with Chojuro-sensei, another 100 to work with Ao-sensei, and the last 100 to work with Mei-chan. Naruto, Mei asked, getting his attention, isn't this just a waste of chakra? Naruto looked at her like she was crazy, before he realized that the Shadow Clone Jutsu was a Konoha's secret jutsu, and as such she wouldn't know anything about it. Well, once my clones disperse I get all of their memories, so I can learn from all 3 of you at once. He finished with a grin. Damn, that is one useful jutsu, Ao muttered. Okay, this will be very useful in your training Naruto-kun. Mei said with a rather wicked grin. Now, go with Chojuro, while I teach your clones some new taijutsu and the shuriken shadow clone technique. Naruto nodded happily and followed Chojuro to a small rock where a sheathed katana lay. Go ahead, Chojuro said to Naruto's unasked question. Naruto picked up the katana and marveled at it. It had a standard black handle, as was the sheath, and it was around 3 feet long. Think Sasuke's sword in Shippuden. Alright, I want you to unsheath it and stand with your feet shoulder width apart. Chojuro then went on to teach Naruto the correct way to hold a katana, and after over 3 hours, Mei called for them to stop. Alright, Naruto, I want you to disperse your clones, because I am hungry and I bet you are too. Naruto's grin slowly turned into a pained grimace as 300 different sets of memories appeared in his head. Damn, that hurt, he exclaimed, as Kurama healed his headache. What? Ao asked bemused. Nothing, I just didn't expect to have that many memories is all. He explained, before looking at Mei and grinning. I know just where we can find something to eat, Mei-chan. He exclaimed, and practically drugged Mei to Ichiraku's, with Ao and Chojuro following close behind. Mei growled at the villagers, who were stupid enough to glare at Naruto. It's the demon. Look, the demon's kidnapping that woman. Filthy monster. Thinks it can fool us with that disguise. I'm not fooled. Naruto sighed as his 3 senseis began to glare with cold fury at the villagers. Guys, it's not worth it, he said. Only for Mei to growl slightly, before allowing Naruto to continue dragging her down the streets to his favorite restaurant. Here we are, he called happily, to his still fuming senseis. Seeing that they weren't about to come in, he grabbed Mei's hand and led her into Ichiraku's. Ayame Ne-chan, I'm here. He called happily, still holding Mei's hand as he sat down at a stool. Naruto, how have you been? Asked Tuchi, the owner of Ichiraku's and Ayame's father. I've been great, what about you? He asked happily. Tuchi chuckled, same old, same old. So what can I get you? I'll have 5 miso ramen. He exclaimed. I'll have 1 miso please. Mei said, while Ao ordered a chicken, as well as Chojuro. Coming right up, Tuchi said before disappearing in the back. Naruto. Ayame called happily, as she came out from the back. Ayame Ne-chan, Naruto said happily as he hugged her. Who are your new friends? she asked, indicating his new senseis. Oh, that's Ao, and that's Chojuro, and this is Mei Terumi, my fiancé. At this, there was the sound of pans falling and a man cursing, before Tucci came back and gaped at Naruto and Mei. Did I hear right? He asked, fiancé? When did this happen? Allow me, Mei said, bowing slightly to the man. My name is Mei Terumi, and I am the 5th Mizukage of Kirigakure, and our parents signed an arranged marriage contract before Naruto was born. Ayame and Tucci both just gaped at the woman. Not only was she beautiful, but she was a cage. Tucci whistled. Naruto, this one is on the house. That is not necessary, Mei began, only to be interrupted by Tucci. I insist, Mizukage-sama. Very well, but please call me Mei. Mizukage-sama makes me feel old. Ao chuckled at this, and received a death glare from Mei. Did you have something to add, Ao? She asked in her deathly sweet voice that promised pain. Ao gulped, no Mizukage-sama. Good. Mei then turned to Ayame, who was watching in awe. Mei giggled before Tucci came back with their orders. Eat up, he called happily. Naruto and Chojuro wasted no time in wolfing down their meal, while Ao and Mei ate slower. No manners, Ao muttered disgusted. In my day, if a kid ate like that in front of his elders, we would. Ao, shut up before I kill you, Mei said, before eating again. Tucci and Ayame just sweat dropped as they watched the four. I'm telling you, forehead, my dad said they saw him with a grown woman with red hair. The voice of Ino cut through the quiet atmosphere like a knife. Please, Ino pig, what would Naruto be doing with another woman? The unmistakable voice of Naruto's teammate Sakura voiced her opinion. I don't know, maybe they. Ino stopped mid-sentence as her and Sakura walked into Ichiraku's. See? Ino exclaimed victoriously. I told you. Mei, who had stopped eating, looked at Naruto, who looked at the pink-haired banshee and the other blonde girl in confusion. Naruto! Sakura yelled, bonking the blonde on the head roughly, making Mei's blood boil. Where the hell were you? Why didn't you go check up on Sasuke-kun? Naruto rubbed his sore head. Sakura, I did go see Sasuke Teme, but I was needed somewhere else. Hokage's orders. Sakura snorted, yeah right. You probably left because you felt guilty because it's your fault that Sasuke-kun is in the hospital. Naruto baka. She went to strike him again, only for Mei to grab her wrist, and Ao and Chojuro to stand up. Don't dare strike Naruto-kun in front of me. Mei growled. Let me go. Sakura screeched, as she struggled to free herself from the enraged cage. Mei-chan let her go. Naruto said. Mei grumbled but complied. Who are you? Sakura asked Mei. I am the 5th Mizukage Mei Terumi, as well as Naruto-kun's new sensei and fiancé. Ino and Sakura both gasped, and while Sakura looked angry, Ino looked like Christmas came early. What? Sakura screeched. How did this happen? That is so romantic. Ino said, hearts in her eyes. What do you mean you're Naruto Baka's fiancé? Sakura shouted angrily. I said what I meant, now leave. Mei growled, already disliking everything about the pink-haired girl. Wisely Sakura left, with Ino trailing behind, but not before promising Naruto that she will milk every detail out of him. Well, that was interesting, Ao muttered, before going back to his noodles. Who was that? Mei asked Naruto, who shrugged. That was my teammate Sakura Haruno. Who is Sasuke? Chojuro asked. Naruto laughed slightly at that. Sasuke Uchiha, my other teammate, as well as my rival and best friend. Though neither one of us will admit it. What happened to him? Mei asked, only caring because Naruto said it was his best friend. Orochimaru, Naruto said simply, before telling them the tale of what happened in the Forest of Death. And your other teammate thinks it's your fault because you couldn't protect Sasuke from one of the Sannin? Mei asked, and when Naruto nodded, she asked, just how stupid is she? Naruto shrugged, finishing his final bowl of ramen, all done. Thanks Ayame Ne-chan, old man. Both people in question just chuckled. Now what do we do? Naruto asked excitedly. Mei sighed, come on Naruto-kun. We are going to perfect your current jutsus for today. Naruto just grinned, he was already excited for more training. What are we waiting for? He called, as he tugged Mei's hands, let's go. Ao just sighed, this is going to be a long month. Chojuro nodded. Now remember Naruto-kun, stay away from him, attack from a distance. Mei reminded Naruto, as they walked into a packed stadium. I know Mei-chan, don't worry. Mei smiled and grabbed his hand, a gesture he was now familiar with, as they had grown very close in the past month. "Mei-chan, where are we going? I thought you had to go to the cage's box," Naruto asked, as his fiancée led him and a bemused Ao and Chojuro to the competitor's box. "I know," she said, pouting slightly. "But I'm going to walk with you till you reach the competitor's box, then I'll leave to the cage's box." Naruto sighed, already knowing that when she had her mind set on something, it was best to let her go with it. Naruto grumbled as he readjusted the katana strapped to his back. "There you are, Naruto-ba." Sakura was cut off from a glare by Mei, as they arrived at the competitor's box. "Where's Sasuke Teme?" Naruto asked, glancing around at the competitors as well as the other ninja who were already eliminated. Before Sakura could answer, Kiba cut in, "Who cares? The real question is who this is?" he asked with a perverted look at Mei. "Ow," Chojuro and Naruto growled, "That's my fiancé, idiot." Naruto snapped, shocking everyone present besides Sakura, Ino, Choji, and Shikamaru. Hinata felt her heart break at these words. What? Kiba yelled, his brain not being able to process what it was just told. "You heard him correctly, Inazaka-san," Mei said, slightly amused. "When the hell did this happen?" he yelled, shocked that Naruto could get such a beautiful woman. "Since before he was born," Mei said, a smile tugging at her lips. "What does that even mean?" Kiba almost yelled. "Troublesome, it means they were arranged to be married." Shikamaru sighed. Naruto nodded, confirming what Shikamaru had already said. Kiba fainted, the news being too much for his brain to process. Kurenai sighed, "My humblest apologies, Mizukage-sama, my student is, well, different." Mei waved a hand in dismissal, while all the shinobi present gasped. "Naruto was engaged to a cage? Nice going, Naruto," Choji complimented. Naruto scratched the back of his head in embarrassment. "Thanks, Choji." "Well, I've got to go to the cage's box, good luck, Naruto-kun," Mei said, before kissing Naruto on the cheek, leaving a faint blue imprint of her supple lips. "Good luck, kid," Ao said as he stood beside his Mizukage. "Good luck, Naruto, I know you can win," Chojuro said, causing everyone present to sweat drop. "He's just like Hinata." "Thanks guys, Mei-chan." They nodded and began to walk to the cage's box. Mei arrived at the cage's box and took her seat to the left of Hiruzen. "So, how did it go?" the old Hokage asked. Mei smiled slightly. "Naruto's probably is being interrogated by all his friends as we speak." Hiruzen chuckled, "I wouldn't doubt it." Naruto's sweat dropped at all the questions being directed towards him. "Is she nice? What's her name? Who were those people with her? Troublesome?" Naruto held up a hand to silence the flow of questions. "Yes, she is nice. Her name is Mei Terumi and she is the 5th Mizukage, the people with her were her guards. The older one was Ao, and the one with the sword was Chojuro. And everything is troublesome to you, Shikamaru." Shikamaru just shrugged. "Hey kid," Kurama contacted him. "You know that sand shinobi? The one with the red hair?" "Yeah, what about him?" "He's the Jinchuriki to the one-tailed Tanuki Shukaku." Naruto's eyes widened. "Are you sure?" Kurama snorted. "Yes, I am positive. That red-headed brat is the Jinchuriki to the crazy-ass Tanuki, damn it." "What? Shukaku is the craziest and most bloodthirsty of all the Biju. And because of that he is almost impossible to correctly seal. Which means, yes, that brat is most likely unstable. And if the Tanuki gets loose we will have to face it." Naruto cursed, "How the hell am I supposed to fight a Biju?" Kurama shrugged, "Hopefully you won't, but if you do, I suggest summoning that giant toad Gamabunta." Naruto nodded and steeled his nerves as he heard the proctor call the first match. The first match will consist of Naruto Uzumaki vs Neji Hyuga. Please make your way down to the arena. "Here we go," Naruto muttered, as he jumped from the competitor's box into the arena. Neji walked calmly down and faced Naruto. "You should just give up," he advised. "Fate had decreed that you will lose to me, so save yourself the humiliation and forfeit." Naruto scoffed, "I don't believe in fate, and if I did I would still fight, because I don't give up." The proctor looked at the two teens. "Begin." Naruto quickly put his hands together in his signature seal, Shadow Clone Jutsu. He called, and 24 clones emerged, and charged the Hyuga prodigy, who yelled, "Byakugan," and activated his dojutsu. The real Naruto stepped back and watched how Neji destroyed his clones. It appears that he doesn't use any jutsu. Summoning 12 more clones, Naruto had 6 of them form Rasengans before circling Neji. "Kit, do not waste too much chakra," Kurama yelled. "If I'm right, and the Tanuki gets out, then you are going to need as much chakra as you can get." Naruto sent a confirmation to the fox, before the 6 Narutos without Rasengans grabbed a kunai and threw it at Neji, before going through several hand signs, and shouting out, "Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique." Instantly hundreds of kunai appeared in the air, forcing Neji to go through a rotation. The kunai disappeared in puffs of smoke, but not before the 7 Narutos with Rasengans circled the exposed Neji, and charged, calling, "Shadow Clone Rasengan Barrage." Neji's eyes widened and he was barely able to go through a rotation. Naruto let out a victorious cry as his 7 Rasengans managed to knock Neji off balance, but in doing so he was launched to the opposing wall, creating a crack in it. "That hurt," he muttered, whipping blood off of his chin. He went through several hand signs and unsheathed his sword, a fierce wind whipping around it. Wind release, 1000 blades. He then slashed his sword several times, creating roughly 1,000 sharp blades of wind. Neji's eyes widened and he went through another rotation. "Damn it," Naruto cursed, as his blades were destroyed. He then sheathed his sword before going through a few more hand signs. Fire release, Fireball Jutsu. He then spit out a massive fireball that Neji dodged, before charging the immobile Naruto. 6 palms, he shouted, striking Naruto. 12 palms. Naruto coughed up blood. 24 palms. Naruto grinned and grabbed Neji's hand before exploding. Shocked, Neji flew several feet away, before being attacked by the real Naruto. "How?" he asked, confused. Naruto grinned, substitution followed by exploding shadow clone. Neji groaned, as he got slowly to his feet. "It doesn't matter. Fate is on my side in this fight." Naruto rolled his eyes. "Give up, Neji, or you will be in for the beating of your life." Neji and even some of the spectators laughed. "You beat me?" he laughed. Naruto sighed, and willed his hanged shadow clones to drop the henge. Neji's eyes widened and a silent scream tore through his throat, as hundreds of Narutos dropped their transformation of rocks and leaves. Neji went through a desperate rotation that was only able to repel half of the clones before he was overwhelmed. The proctor sighed as the clones dispelled, revealing an unconscious Neji. Winner by knockout, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto smiled slightly as the spectators cheered. Walking over to the slowly waking Neji, Naruto offered a hand. "Good match, Neji," he said happily. Neji looked at his hand for a few seconds before smiling warmly. "Same goes for you, Naruto." The spectators cheered even more at the sight of the contestants smiling to one another. There will be a 10-minute interval between the next match. The proctor called, as medics rushed over to Neji, who was being supported by Naruto. "Thank you, Uzumaki, we will take it from here," one of the medics said. Naruto nodded and jumped to the competitor's box, where he was congratulated. "Naruto, that was a most youthful fight," Rock Lee yelled while supporting his weight on crutches. Lee's sensei guy nodded as well. "I must thank you, Naruto, what you did just may have changed his life for the better." Naruto chuckled, slightly embarrassed. Sakura just snorted, "Whatever, Sasuke-kun will be amazing." Compared to Naruto back, she was once again silenced by Mei, who along with Ao and Chojuro came down to congratulate Naruto. "I would strongly advise against insulting my fiancé Haruno," Mei said, smiling coldly. She then turned to Naruto, who was being congratulated by Chojuro. "You were amazing, Naruto-kun," she purred, kissing his cheek. Naruto blushed. "Thank you, Mei-chan." Naruto Uzumaki, a calm, emotionless voice called. Naruto turned to see Gaara, the Jinchuriki. "Yes?" he asked, preparing himself for anything. "I look forward to fighting against you, mother wants your blood." Naruto blinked, and Kurama snorted. Of course the damned Tanuki would refer to himself as a woman. He said, disgusted. Thank you?" Naruto asked, not really sure how to respond. Gaara nodded, and walked away, while his sibling looked at Naruto in pity. What the hell was that about?" Kiba asked, staring at the Sand siblings. Naruto shrugged, before turning to Sakura. "Do you know where Sasuke is?" After glancing at Mei, Sakura shrugged. "Sasuke-kun and Kakashi-sensei haven't arrived yet." Naruto threw his hands up in defeat. "Is Kakashi-sensei's laziness contagious?" he asked angrily. Only for the surround Jonin to chuckle. I believe so, Naruto, Asuma said, still laughing. Naruto grumbled for a few minutes, but if the Tami's not here in 5 minutes he's going to get disqualified. At this the surrounded Jonin shrugged. If he can't even be on time for his match then he's not worthy of a promotion. Kurenai said, getting nods from the elder ninjas. What do you think, Naruto-kun? Mei asked, getting all the shinobi to look at him. Naruto shrugged, the Teme probably doesn't deserve the promotion, but he should still fight. Guy nodded, a most youthful answer. Ao's sweat dropped, and leaned in close to Naruto. Is he always like this? He whispered. Naruto laughed. No, he's much worse. Sasuke, Uchiha and Gaara of the desert, please make your way down to the arena. Gaara appeared in a swirl of sand, only to reappear in the arena. I should be heading back to the cage's box. Goodbye, Naruto-kun, Mei said, before bowing politely to the surrounding Jonin, before making her way to the cage's box. Sasuke Uchiha? The proctor called, glancing around. When no answer came, he looked towards the Hokage, who nodded. Very well, Sasuke Uchiha has 5 minutes to arrive or he will be disqualified. Sakura glanced around nervously. I hope Sasuke-kun is going to make it. Naruto laughed. Knowing Kakashi-sensei? They would probably arrive with only a second to spare. Which proved to be true, as with only 30 seconds left, a swirl of leaves announced the arrival of Sasuke and Kakashi. Hello, Kakashi waved merrily. I hope we're not too late. The proctor merely sweat dropped. No, but you were cutting it very close. Kakashi nodded, and clapped Sasuke on the shoulder before going to the competitor's box. Begin, the proctor announced, before moving out of the way. Gaara smiled evilly as his quirk flew off of his guard. Mother wants your blood, Uchiha. He shouted as his sand raced towards Sasuke. Well then your mother is going to be disappointed, Sasuke countered, as he moved with inexplicable speeds towards Gaara, whose sand was barely able to block. Sasuke-kun is so fast. Sakura cheered, bouncing up and down. Naruto scowled. Kakashi-sensei, why do Sasuke Tami's moves look like Lee's? Kakashi sighed. I have already talked to him about it. About what? Naruto asked, confused. It appears that Sasuke copied Lee's moves with his Sharingan. Kiba, who was listening in on their conversation, growled indignantly. You mean he can copy any jutsu he wants with his eyes? Kakashi nodded. Yes, that's bull crap. Kiba howled angrily. I agree with you, Kakashi said sincerely, and I have punished him severely, as well as made him promise to never do it again. Still, Kiba began, only to be stopped by a pain-riddled scream. My blood. It's my blood, mother. I'm bleeding. Shocked, Naruto turned to the arena, where it appeared as though Sasuke has plunged a lightning-covered hand into a dome of sand. Kit, the tanuki is getting loose. Kurama shouted. Naruto's eyes widened as the dome collapsed, revealing Gaara, who was clutching his left shoulder. You made me feel pain? Gaara muttered, as a demonic hand emerged from his guard. You made me feel alive. Sasuke's eyes widened and he was barely able to avoid being crushed by the hand. Naruto gripped the railing and prepared to jump in and stop the fight when rose petals began to fall from the sky. Genjutsu, Kurama warned, and Naruto broke the jutsu, only to see hundreds of shinobi launch them into the arena and attack the Konoha ninja. Invasion, Kakashi warned, as he and the Jonin took up a defensive position. Naruto watched as Gaara's siblings jumped into the arena and grabbed him, leaving a confused and exhausted Sasuke. Sasuke-kun, Sakura yelled, and ran towards Sasuke, who had given chase to the Sand siblings. Damn it, Naruto yelled, before turning to Kakashi. Kakashi-sensei, I had to go stop Gaara, he's like me. Kakashi's eyes widened. Are you sure you can take him? He asked. Naruto nodded. I am the only one who can fight him now. Very well, go, and tell Sakura and Sasuke to fall back, they are only going to be a hindrance. Naruto nodded and began to follow his team members, who had chased the Sand siblings into the woods. Along the way Naruto found an unconscious Kankuro. Damn Sasuke, he thought. You sure did a number on him. Sasuke-kun, Sakura's voice cried and Naruto immediately honed in on her. Naruto's eyes widened at the sight of an immobile Sasuke, who had strange black markings on him, a crying Sakura, and a half-transformed Gaara. Shukaku, he yelled, immediately getting Gaara's attention. Your fight is with me now. Sakura, take Sasuke and go, I'll deal with Gaara. But, Sakura began, only to be cut off by Naruto. Don't argue with me, just go. Be careful, Sakura whispered, before grabbing Sasuke and running back to the village. Mother wants your blood, Gaara chanted. If you want it, come and get it. Gaara roared and launched several sand shuriken at Naruto, who was barely able to dodge shadow clone jutsu. Naruto yelled, as 20 clones materialized. Yes, more people to kill, Gaara shouted gleefully, before dispelling all of the clones. Kurama, update, Naruto shouted as he dodged a couple stray sand shuriken. Good news is that Gaara is still mostly in control, the fox reported. However, the brat is losing more and more control as time goes on. Of course he is, Naruto shouted, before summoning another batch of clones. Multi-shadow clone Rasengan. Half of the clones roared, as they charged from all directions. Gaara laughed manically as he dispatched several clones. Yes, come to me. Come to me and prove your existence. You asked for it, Naruto yelled from behind Gaara, Rasengan. He thrust the blue sphere of chakra towards Gaara's lower back, a place Kurama had informed him was a weak point. Gaara roared in pain and perverse pleasure. That hurt. Naruto's eyes widened as Gaara's sandtail whipped forward and struck him in the chest. Naruto landed on his back and coughed up blood. I think I cracked a rib. He groaned, as he launched several fireballs at Gaara, all of whom were easily deflected. You are a worthy opponent, Naruto Uzumaki. Gaara shouted gleefully, as he sent one of his sand arms towards the still dazed Naruto. Kid dodge, Kurama yelled, but it was too late. Naruto cried out as he was crushed against a tree, pinned and unable to move. Kit, attack the joints, they are the only weak spots. I got you, Gaara shouted in a crazed frenzy. Now to kill you. Loud cracks and screams filled the air as Naruto's ribs and left arm were slowly broken. Yes, scream all you want, mother loves it. Shadow clone jutsu, Naruto yelled desperately, and drew a sigh of relief as his clones formed Rasengans and attacked the joints in Gaara's sand hand, freeing him. That was to close, Naruto breathed, as Kurama tended to his wounds. Kit, hurry and finish the brat off, the tanuki is closer to taking over. How do you suppose I go about doing that? Naruto shouted angrily. Fire, turn the bastard into glass. Is that even possible? It's worth a try, now do it. Naruto grumbled and went through the hand signs for his strongest fire jutsu, fire release, great fireball technique. Naruto blew out a searing hot fireball that Gaara was unable to dodge. I'll have to remember to thank Ao for teaching me that. Kid, it's not over, Kurama warned. That was fun, now it's my turn. The demonic voice of Gaara spoke from the dust cloud, and as he walked into Naruto's field of vision, Naruto blanched. Standing before him was a miniature Shukaku, with only Gaara's feet signifying that the transformation was incomplete. Naruto went through a couple more hand signs, water release, gunshot. He then spit out several high-speed water missiles, which Gaara took in stride. That tickled, he taunted. That was my strongest water jutsu, and my strongest fire jutsu is equally ineffective. Naruto cursed. Naruto went through several more hand signs, before unsheathing his sword, wind release, 1000 blades. He called, as he sliced his blade through the air several times. Gaara howled as the blades cut through his sand and cut into his body. You're a fun match, Naruto Uzumaki. Sand shuriken. Naruto was unprepared for the attack, and was launched into a nearby tree, where he collapsed. This guy is really strong. Kit, what the hell are you doing? Summon the damn toad boss. Kurama shouted angrily. Right, going through a few hand signs, and biting his thumb, Naruto cried out, summoning jutsu. A small poof of smoke appeared, before Gamakichi became visible. Hey Naruto. The small orange frog greeted. Kid, what the hell was that? Kurama asked, turned between laughing and wanting to strangle his Jinchuriki. I'm under pressure, what do you want from me? Naruto replied angrily. I want you to summon Gamabunta so he don't die. Kurama replied scathingly. Sorry Gamakichi, I was trying to summon your father. Naruto explained. Dad? What could you possibly need Dad for, what the hell is that? The orange frog shouted, pointing at Gaara, who was watching in crazed amusement. That is the problem I have to deal with, Naruto replied. Sit this one out, I don't want you getting caught in the crossfire. Gamakichi nodded, and hopped to a safe distance. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto cried, summoning dozens of his exploding clones. Charge! Naruto yelled at the clones, which made a beeline towards Gaara. Sand Shuriken. Gaara yelled, before being blown back from the force of the exploding clones that were hit. Got you! Naruto shouted triumphantly, as 20 of his clones tackled the downed shinobi, who disappeared in a massive explosion. Way to go Naruto! Gamakichi yelled happily. Why do I get the feeling that this isn't over? Naruto asked himself. Kid! Kurama shouted panicking. I'm finally free. Oh dear God? Naruto said horrified as a massive tanuki rose above the tree lines. Summon the toad now. Summoning jutsu. Naruto shouted, and grinned as he felt himself rise above the tree lines. What the hell do you want, brat? Gamabunta asked the blonde teen moodily. Naruto merely pointed to Shukaku, who was still celebrating. Ah yes, Shukaku the sand spirit. I still don't see how this is my problem. Gamabunta said. You have got to be kidding me. Naruto shouted angrily. You are loyal to Konoha, right? Yes. Then if we don't stop this thing right here, then Konoha is going to be its first target. Come on Dad, Gamakichi said, having hopped onto Naruto before he summoned his father. Naruto is right. If you don't stop that thing here then everyone in Konoha can die. Gamabunta growled, alright fine. But next time you summon me I expect 100 bottles of sake. Deal. Hold on brat, this could get bumpy, Gamabunta warned, as Gamakichi hopped to a safer area to watch the fight. Naruto immediately sent chakra to his feet to keep himself steady as Gamabunta charged the Biju, intent on finishing the fight before it even began. Shukaku, who had been preoccupied with celebrating, dodged the would-be lethal blow, but not without a price. You bastard! He yelled as his arm fell to the forest ground below. Gamabunta cursed, damn, the tanuki's sand is heavy. Water release, water bullet. Gamabunta spat out several water missiles at the Biju, who countered, wind release, wind bullet. The mist that ensued was so thick that Naruto's hair began to stick to his head. Gamabunta charged the Biju and thrust his sword through his body, startling Shukaku. That tickles. Get it out. The demon laughed. Gamabunta heaved and managed to slice from Shukaku's sternum to his left shoulder, which hung uselessly. That wasn't very nice, Shukaku complained, as he repaired the damage and grew the arm that Gamabunta had recently cut off. Kid, get ready to use a fire jutsu. The chief toad warned. Right, fire release. Fireball jutsu. Naruto called, as Gamabunta released a massive amount of oil, which ignited and engulfed Shukaku. Is it over? Naruto asked, already knowing the answer. That was hot. The one-tailed Biju exclaimed, as he shattered his right arm, which had been burned severely enough to be turned into a glass-like material. Don't you ever die? Gamabunta roared as he launched himself at the tanuki. Wind release, wind bullet. Water release, water bullet. Kid listen up, Gamabunta called, as he jumped away from Shukaku. You see that red-headed brat sleeping on Shukaku's head? Once he got an affirmative, Gamabunta continued, good, all you have to do is get close enough to him and hit him hard enough to wake up. That should force Shukaku back into his cage. Should? Naruto asked unsurely. 50-50 shot, but it's all we have. Water release, water bullet. Gamabunta released another mouthful of water missiles which Shukaku blocked. Get ready brat. He roared as he launched himself at the Biju. Naruto tried to jump onto the tanuki, but Gamabunta was thrown from it roughly. I can't get to him. Try holding on longer, he called to the toad. I don't exactly have any teeth or nails to grab on with. Henge me into something that does. Kit, henge into me. It meets his requirements and it might surprise the sand rat long enough for you to punch the other brat. Henge, Naruto called, before he and Gamabunta were enveloped in a smokescreen. Now this is more like it. Gamabunta yelled happily, as the smoke cleared to reveal a massive nine-tailed fox. Kukurama? Shukaku asked hesitantly. Think again sand rat, Gamabunta called as he hooked his nails and teeth into the surprised Biju. Now, Naruto launched himself forward, and landed several feet from where Gaara stood. Nice try. Wind release, wind bullet. Shukaku roared, launching a wind bullet at Gamabunta, who took it point blank. Gamabunta, Naruto yelled as he watched the henge drop, and Gamabunta disappearing in a poof of smoke. Now your turn runt. Shukaku cackled, and Naruto yelped as he felt tendrils of sand wrap themselves around him. Naruto cried out as he felt 3 of his ribs and his left wrist shatter. Kurama, he called desperately. The fox immediately supplied him with chakra, but warned him that that was all he could do. With a yell, Naruto broke free of his binds, and charged at the sleeping Jinchuriki. Gaara time to wake the hell up. He yelled as he punched Gaara as hard as he could, before he was once again restrained. What? Gaara asked, still dazed, only to see Naruto only inches away from his face. Glad to see you woke up, Naruto said before head-butting him, cracking both of their skulls. No, I just got out, Shukaku yelled angrily as he was once again forced into the seal. Naruto and Gaara both screamed as Shukaku's body broke apart, causing them to free fall for over 50 feet. Naruto spat up blood as he crashed into a massive oak tree. Looking around, he saw Gaara not too far away, slowly rising to his feet. Doing the same, Naruto launched himself at his fellow Jinchuriki. Gaara, Uzumaki. Mei and her guard immediately went on guard as they dispelled the genjutsu. What are you doing, Naruto-kun? She screamed in her mind as she watched said blonde charge after his teammates and the ninja they were pursuing. I guess it's safe to assume this is your doing, Orochimaru? Hiruzen asked calmly, glancing at the case cage, who chuckled. Nothing escapes you, Sarutobi-sensei? I am old Orochimaru, Hiruzen said, standing up and tossing his cage robes to the side, revealing his battle armor. Not senile. Are you sure you wish to fight me, sensei? Orochimaru asked smugly, also standing up. Because old or not, I will kill you. With that, he tossed away his cage robes, revealing an extremely pale-skinned man, with snake-like slits for pupils. Ow, Chojuro, assist the civilians. Mei ordered, only for her 2 guards to go into an uproar. Quiet, now do as I say. Why yes, Mizukage-sama, the 2 loyal guards muttered regretfully, as they ran towards the battleground that had previously been the Chunin exams arena. Mizukage-sama, Hiruzen began, only to be interrupted by Mei. With all due respect, Hokage-sama, Mei said, as she took her position to the elder cage's left. I will fight with you, if not because of the peace treaty between our villages, then because of the fact that I am engaged to your adopted grandson in all but blood. Hiruzen smiled at this. Then I welcome your help, Mei-sama. Before Mei could respond, she was forced to dodge an incoming blow from the snake Sannin, who wanted to take her out so that he could focus on his previous master. Damn, he hits hard, the red-headed cage thought, as she disentangled herself from Orochimaru, lava-style, lava bullet. She called out, spitting a mouthful of lava from her mouth. This is interesting, Orochimaru said in an amused voice. I thought that the 4th Mizukage had exterminated all of the Terumi. No matter, I will just have to finish what he started. Mei narrowed her eyes. We'll see about that. Lava style. Melting apparition technique. She called, opening her mouth and releasing a flamethrower like lava blast. Orochimaru simply chuckled as he created an earth wall to deflect the attack. Touchy subject? He asked, amused. Enough, Hiruzen shouted, having watched their fight to see just how strong his former pupil had become. We will continue this fight elsewhere. The civilians are in danger of being caught in the crossfire. Orochimaru simply chuckled. Very well, yes, soon you shall fall into my trap, old man. Hiruzen simply turned and jumped out a nearby window, while Mei and Orochimaru followed, sweat dropping. Does anybody here use a door? Mei asked. So he's the one who taught Jiraiya that? Orochimaru thought, slightly angered. Does he know how many windows Tsunade and I had to repair because of that toad-loving idiot? The older cage led the 2 to a roof away from the worst of the invasion. Orochimaru chuckled. You fell right for my trap, Hiruzen. He mocked as his sound ninja erected a chakra barrier, effectively cutting off all hopes of any outside assistance. Mei cursed her foolishness, but Hiruzen merely chuckled. I did not fall for any of this, Orochimaru. He admitted, I knew you would come with backup, and I knew I had to get you away from the people I am sworn to protect. You always were a sentimental old fool, Orochimaru spat, before dodging a lava bullet from Mei. You are quickly becoming a thorn in my side, Mizukage, he said, before going through some hand signs. Wind release, great breakthrough. He shouted, before blowing a large amount of wind out of his mouth. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. She countered, sending a massive fireball at the wind which dissipated. Earth release. Earth dragon bullet. Hiruzen shouted, as 3 earthen dragon heads grew from the roof and shot a volley of earthen projectiles. Damn it, Orochimaru cursed, having dodged both hits. Why did the Mizukage decide to forge an alliance now of all times? Boil release. Skilled mist technique. Mei yelled, before launching her second Kekkei Genkai, the boil release, at Orochimaru. Acid, the snake Sannin muttered as he watched his left hand dissolve slowly. That is a very interesting bloodline you have there, he complimented, before shedding his skin, revealing a carbon copy of his previous body, minus the injuries. That is very disgusting, Mei said, eyeing Orochimaru with distaste. I cannot agree with you more, Mei-sama, Hiruzen said, before biting his thumb and going through a few hand signs. Summoning jutsu. The god of shinobi shouted, slamming his bloody palm on the ground, where a poof of smoke appeared. Sarutobi, the monkey boss summoned Enma greeted. To what do I owe the pleasure? Sarutobi sighed, it is time to correct my past mistake, Enma. The Monkey King looked at Orochimaru and he too sighed. You should have listened when I told you to kill him, he chastened. Mei looked at the Monkey King in awe. I really need to get a summoning contract, she thought jealously. Kukuku, do you honestly believe that the primate can actually harm me? Orochimaru asked theoretically. I can do a lot more than harm you, snake. Enma said coldly, while Hiruzen hefted his battle staff. Kukuku, it seems I am outnumbered, I guess I will just have to even the odds. Orochimaru said sarcastically, before going through several hand signs. Summoning. Impure World Reincarnation. Hokage's 1, at this a plain wooden coffin rose from the roof, with the kanji for 1. 2. A second coffin joined the first, with the kanji for 2. 4th. Hiruzen's eyes widened. May we have to stop him before the coffins open. He yelled, before launching several kunai at the 4th Hokage's coffin. It is too late, Sarutobi sensei, Orochimaru mocked, as 2 figures stepped out of their respective coffins, only to be stabbed in the head with a kunai meant to control them. The first Hokage Hashirama Senju blinked, and charged at Hiruzen in a mindless fury. While the second Hokage Tobirama Senju charged at the petrified Mei. What evil is this? She wondered as she dodged a water bullet. How far you have sunk, Orochimaru, Hiruzen said sadly, as he looked at his 2 reincarnated senseis. Hiruzen, Hashirama called desperately, as he brought his hands together in a seal. You must kill us now. Hiruzen and Enma both nodded. I will return your souls to the afterlife, he promised, as he and his summon charged. Wood release. Great forest technique. The first shouted, as his arms mutated into 2 miniature trees. Wood release. Wooden bullet. He called, as the branches launched at Hiruzen. Earth release. Earthen wall. Sarutobi countered, creating a massive stone wall, which cracked under the pressure. Mei, listen to me, he called to the red-headed Kage, who was busy dodging water bullets. The longer they stay in this world, the stronger they get. They are only at about half power. Mei's eyes widened. They are this strong at only half power? She thought desperately. Kukuku, so you figured it out, huh, sensei? Orochimaru spoke. Sadly, it is true. I have not yet been able to master this particular jutsu as of yet. And you will not live long enough to as well. Mei shouted defiantly, as she dodged yet another attack from the second Hokage. Boil release. Great acidic fog. She shouted, before producing a blanket of mist that traveled quickly towards Tobirama, the fog eating away at everything it touched. Ah, the boil release. Tobirama stated as he countered the attack, that is a very powerful Kekkei Genkai. It's not my only one. Mei shouted, before going through several hand signs. Lava release. Lava dragon. Tobirama watched in awe as Mei produced a massive dragon made entirely out of lava. Water release. Water dragon. The second shouted, producing a water dragon of equal size, as the lava dragon charged at him, drops of lava falling from its body. I guess they don't call him a master of water release for nothing. Mei thought, as both dragons clashed, resulting in Mei's lava dragon being cooled into rock. The 5th Mizukage is very powerful, Hashirama noted, as he clashed with his former student. Despite the circumstances, Hiruzen chuckled, before launching a kunai at the first, who blocked it. Yes, she is quite the kunoichi, fire release, blazing flame. Hiruzen shouted, producing a searing hot flamethrower. Wood release. Wooden wall. Hashirama countered, producing a wall of wood, which easily blocked the flames. Shuriken shadow clone technique. Hiruzen shouted, throwing a single shuriken at the now exposed Hashirama, producing hundreds. Wood release. Wooden wall. Hashirama again produced his defense, but was shocked when the 1,000 or so shuriken exploded, destroying his defense, and a better part of the roof they were fighting on. I am impressed, Hiruzen, Hashirama said proudly, as he picked himself up, but how did you manage to combine exploding shadow clones with shuriken shadow clone technique? I thought that for a shadow clone to explode, it required a chakra system? Hiruzen grinned. Despite the circumstances, he was proud to have pleased his late master. Normally, he admitted, but to create exploding shuriken, you must pump them full of a lot of chakra, which in turn makes them unstable. Hashirama stated proudly. Water release. Senbon rainfall. Tobirama shouted, as he produced a mist, which collected all of the drops of water and turned them into gleaming senbon. Mei's eyes widened, and she quickly went through a few hand signs. Earth release. Earthen wall. She shouted, producing a wall that encompassed her as the senbons rained down from all directions. That was to close, she thought, as she went through a couple more hand signs. Lava release. Molten rain. From the ground, 4 pillars of lava erupted, raining down on her side of the battered roof, which slowly ignited. Hiruzen jumped to the safety of the ground, where the barrier stretched. Wood release. Wooden encasement. Hashirama shouted, as the remnants of the roof molded around him. Water release. Bubble shield. Tobirama shouted, as a bubble of water encased him. Earth release. Earthen wall. Orochimaru cursed, as a dome of earth covered his body. Mei smirked, the molten rain not harming her or her clothes. Now to finish them off, she thought, as she went through several hand signs. I sure hope the barrier protects this. Lava release. Magmatic flow. She shouted, as all of the surrounding area that was in Orochimaru's barrier turned into a river of magma. Hiruzen and Enma watched wide-eyed as the molten river flowed away from them, saving them from injury. This woman's power is staggering. Enma said in amazement. Hiruzen nodded, yes, but to create something of this magnitude will require a lot of chakra. We must hurry, I fear this is not over. With that, Hiruzen and Enma gathered chakra to their feet and slowly began to walk towards Mei, who was breathing heavily. That is a very impressive jutsu, Mei-sama, Hiruzen complimented, as he stood by her side. Yes, she huffed, the chakra required to maintain the jutsu draining her reserves quickly. However, I can only keep this up for another minute. Do you believe that the threat has passed? Hiruzen shook his head. I know my masters, and I know my former student, this is not over. Mei nodded, then I shall drop the jutsu, and with that the magma slowly receded, revealing a barren and badly scorched wasteland. In the middle, a charred and smoking wooden cocoon, as well as a sizzling bubble of water, and a badly melted stone wall indicated where their enemies were. Tobirama, who was the least equipped to survive such a jutsu, dropped his barrier with a huff. Moving fast, Hiruzen appeared behind the chakra-exhausted cage. Goodbye, sensei, Hiruzen said respectfully, as he pulled out the mind-controlling kunai. You did well, Mizukage-sama, Tobirama stated, bowing slightly to Mei, who watched in awe. Hiruzen, I am very proud of what you have become, the village is in good hands. Goodbye. With that, Tobirama Senju dissolved into dust, a smile on his face. That is very unfortunate. Orochimaru spat. Hashirama, deal with the woman. I will deal with Sarutobi and the monkey. Hashirama scowled but was forced to attack. Wood release. Great forest technique. He shouted, his arms turning into miniature trees. Wood release. Wooden bullet. The branches fired at Mei, who dodged. Damn it, she cursed, sending a lava bullet at Hashirama, who easily deflected. That last jutsu took a lot out of me. I may be able to defeat Hashirama, but I will not be able to help Hiruzen with Orochimaru. And if Hashirama gains any more of his power, I will be hard-pressed to survive. Mizukage-sama, Hashirama said, as he launched a few more wood bullets at Mei. My power is quickly growing, I cannot hold it off forever. You must finish me. You must defeat Orochimaru. Mei growled, easy for you to say. Boil release. Great acidic fog. For the second time Mei produced her acid fog, but this time she raised its acidity as high as she could. Wood release. Wooden wall. Hashirama countered, creating his wooden defense. That will not work, Mei shouted triumphantly, as her acid fog ate away at the wood, leaving nothing behind. Very impressive Mizukage-sama, Hashirama's voice said from behind Mei, causing her to turn to face him. How? Mei asked incredulously. I simply substituted with one of my wood clones, Hashirama stated, before punching Mei, sending her flying. This isn't good, Mei thought, as she picked herself up, lava-style. Lava pit. She shouted, and Hashirama's eyes widened as the charred ground beneath him caved in, revealing a river of lava. Thinking fast, the first Hokage substituted with a wooden log, reappearing on the other side of the barrier-incased battleground. You are a very powerful opponent, Hashirama complimented, both happy and saddened that he was able to fight her. However, this fight is over. I am sorry, I cannot fight against my orders anymore. You are correct, Hashirama-sama, Mei said, shocking the deceased Hokage. This fight is over, but I am not the one who will die. With that, Mei exploded in a shower of mist. A water clone, you are truly worthy of the title Kage. Hashirama stated, as Mei appeared behind him. It was truly an honor to fight you, Hashirama-sama, Mei said, grasping the kunai that was controlling the god of shinobi. Indeed it was. Now quickly, remove the kunai, I can only hold off for so long. Rest in peace, Mei said quietly, as he removed the kunai. Hashirama smiled as he turned to dust, happy that he could return to the afterlife without harming anyone. Mei took a deep breath to calm her nerves, before looking for her fellow Kage, who was engaging his former student. Sending a lava bullet towards the snake Sannin, effectively making him disentangle from Hiruzen. Kukuku, so you defeated Hashirama as well? Orochimaru asked, slightly fearful of the power that this Kage seemed to possess. Indeed I did, Mei said, before turning to Hiruzen. What say we wrap this up quickly? Hiruzen nodded, and Enma spoke, indeed. This battle has dragged on far too long. Orochimaru cursed, 3-on-1 are not very good odds, even if one of them is a summon, and the other is nearly out of chakra. Orochimaru opened his mouth and grasped the hilt of his sword Kusanagi. Pulling it all the way out from his mouth, the snake Sannin took a defensive Kenjutsu stand. Mei found herself once again revolted. This guy is the most disgusting person I have ever met. She exclaimed, getting a weary nod from Sarutobi. No need to prolong this, Hiruzen stated, hefting his battle staff, while Mei pulled out a kunai. Mei-sama, I know you are exhausted from your previous fights, let me handle this. Mei reluctantly agreed, knowing she was more of a liability with her nearly depleted chakra. Orochimaru blocked an incoming attack from Hiruzen, and bent his spine in an unnatural way to avoid a two-handed assault from Enma. You damn snake, stay still. The Monkey King roared, as he and Hiruzen attacked. Forced on the defensive, Orochimaru knew that he was close to defeat. That damn reincarnation jutsu took a lot more chakra than I planned. He thought angrily. Of course it didn't help that it required a constant stream of chakra to keep those two senju under my command. It's over, Orochimaru. Hiruzen yelled, as he struck his former pupil on the shoulder, and Enma punched the snake in the stomach. Indeed it is, sensei. Orochimaru smirked, as Kusanagi pierced his former master's left shoulder. Hiruzen yelled in pain as he felt his entire arm erupt in mind-numbing pain. Poison, the professor thought, as his face crunched up in agony. Yes, Sarutobi, do you feel it? Poison straight from Manda, king of the serpents. Orochimaru cried triumphantly, as he moved his arm to deliver a finishing blow. I have had enough of you, Sannin. Mei shouted angrily, kicking Orochimaru away from the downed Hokage. Acting fast, Enma grabbed the snake before he could react. Finish him, Mizukage-sama. The Monkey King yelled, I will dispel before it hits me. Mei nodded and went through a few hand signs, and gathered the last of her chakra. Boil release. Skilled mist technique. She shouted, and the acidic cloud moved towards the struggling Sannin, who knew that if he was touched with it, he would die. Enma grunted as Orochimaru elbowed him in the stomach, but before Orochimaru could leave, Enma grabbed him and threw him towards the acid cloud. On instinct, Orochimaru threw his arms up, and yelled as the acidic cloud ate away at it, dissolving skin, tissue, and bone, all the way up to his elbows. You will pay, Mizukage, Orochimaru spat, before dissolving into the ground, his fallen sword disappearing in a cloud of smoke. Mei panted as the barrier dropped. Hokage-sama. She remembered turning to the fallen Kage, who was clutching his left shoulder in pain. Anbu! Mei shouted, and instantly, the dozens of Anbu that were trying to break the barrier ran towards their downed Hokage. What poison was it? A sparrow-masked Anbu asked Mei hurriedly. The snake Sannin said that the poison originated from Manda, the snake boss summon. Mei informed them. Thank God, Sparrow muttered, before she left. Tsunade-sama left us with a cure for that poison in case Orochimaru ever used it. We will take it from here, thank you Mizukage-sama, a bear-masked Anbu said, bowing to Mei, who waved it off. Is the invasion over? She asked, as the other Anbu left with Hiruzen and Enma, who refused to leave his summoner's side. Bear nodded, yes ma'am, he informed. Without Orochimaru leading them they were disorganized and fell quickly. Good, Mei said, as Bear bowed and left. Mizukage-sama. The voices of Ao and Chojuro broke the silence. Turning around, Mei saw her two guards running quickly towards her. Are you injured Mizukage-sama? Ao asked quickly, only to receive a shake of the head from Mei. No, my chakra is almost depleted, but that is about it. After receiving relieved expressions, Mei asked them. Has Naruto-kun returned? Ao shook his head. No Mizukage-sama, however, his two teammates returned not too long ago. The pink-haired one was carrying the Uchiha, and was demanding that he received medical attention, in the middle of an invasion too. The boy only had chakra exhaustion. In my day if, Ao was stopped from his rambling by an irate Mei. Did she say what happened to Naruto? She asked, fearing the worst. Ao nodded. She said that Uzumaki-san stayed behind to hold off the Kage's youngest brat. She said he was turning into a monster. Mei's eyes widened. A monster? She repeated hurriedly. Did she describe it? Ao nodded. She was more worried about the Uchiha, but she said that the brat's sand wrapped around his right arm, and the right side of his face. She also said that he had a tail. Mei's eyes widened even further. That sounds like what the one-tailed Biju's chakra cloak would look like. Did she say where they were? She asked frantically. This time Chojuro answered. SGS said that they fought about 4 miles east of the V village. Without warning, Mei began to run towards the east, her guards trailing behind her. Hang in there Naruto-kun, she thought as she raced through the gate and into the forest. Soon signs of a battle were shown, scorch marks littered the trees, and many trees had been uprooted, or simply destroyed. Many trees were cut, as if by some weapon, and sand was everywhere. Within minutes they came across a sight that caused their blood to freeze, a massive tanuki made of sand. And as they watched, the beast screamed in rage. No, I just got out. Before it slowly broke down into smaller grains of sand, which rained down on the forest. Mei and her guards gasped as they saw Naruto and Gaara fall from the top of the beast's head, crashing into a pair of trees close by. As they watched, both Jinchuriki stood up, both clearly wounded, and jumped towards each other. Gaara! Naruto shouted. Uzumaki! Gaara roared, as the both collided, punching each other in the jaw, resulting in Gaara being knocked backwards. Mei cringed as she heard the unmistakable sound of bones breaking as both Jinchuriki fell to the forest floor. Amazing! Ao muttered awed, as they watched Naruto, who was bloodied, and appeared to have broken several bones, including his left leg and right arm. Walked towards the downed Gaara, who crawled away, fear evident in his eyes. Stay away, he yelled, you will not end my existence. Why? The low voice of Naruto asked, shocking everyone. Why what? Gaara asked confused. Why do you kill? Why did you turn out like this? Naruto asked, his eyes begging for an answer. What are you talking about? Gaara shouted confused. I was a born killer. I killed my mother before I was even born, I killed my uncle. Would they have wanted you to turn out like this? Naruto countered, swaying slightly. Why do you care Uzumaki? Gaara asked hesitantly. Because I am like you. I have Kurama, the nine-tailed fox, sealed inside of me. And because of that I am hated, beaten, and cursed. Naruto explained, shocking the red-headed Jinchuriki. How did you stand it? The beatings, the hatred, the assassination attempts? Gaara asked. At first I couldn't, Naruto admitted, I hated everyone, and I imagine I still would if I had not found my precious people. Precious people? Naruto nodded, yes. Hokage Jiji, Iruka sensei, Kakashi sensei, the Ichirakus, Ao, Chojuro, Mei-chan. Hell, even Sasuke Teme and Sakura. How do you get these precious people? Gaara asked desperately. Naruto shrugged, you had to earn them, but you already have two. I do? Gaara asked, racking his brain to try and think. Yes, your brother and your sister love and care for you enough to risk getting killed by Shukaku, so that you would not be alone. At this, Mei and Chojuro walked into the clearing, shocking both Jinchuriki. He's right, Mei said, your siblings care for you a lot, they're right there. She pointed to where Temari and Kankuro had just appeared. Gaara, they both shouted, running to their wounded brother. Temari, Kankuro, I'm so sorry. Gaara cried, shocking his two siblings. Shush, it's okay now Gaara. Temari said, embracing her youngest brother, who flinched, but eventually returned the gesture. I want to go home now, I'm done. Gaara muttered, further shocking his siblings. You should leave, Naruto said, you are Sand Shinobi, and Tsunade just attacked Konoha. You will be killed if anyone sees you. You would, let us leave? Kankuro asked dumbly. Naruto nodded, yes. Mei decided to speak up, there has been too much bloodshed, go in peace. The Sand siblings nodded gratefully, thank you Mizukage-sama, Naruto-sama. Just, Naruto, Naruto muttered, finding it harder to stay awake. Thank you Naruto Uzumaki, Gaara said, before he and his sibling disappeared in a swirl of sand. You did well Naruto-kun, Mei said, turning her attention to her young fiancé. Thanks, Mei-chan. The blonde said, before succumbing to his injuries. We need to get him to the hospital quickly. Mei shouted, before grabbing Naruto and shunning to the hospital. I need a doctor. Mei yelled, cursing her lack of medical ninjutsu. A doctor quickly ran to her, what has happened? He asked, before setting eyes on Naruto, his eyes narrowed. He fought soon as Jinchuriki, Mei said, before noticing the cold look in the doctor's eye. I am sorry, but we do not serve demons. He spat, before finding himself pinned to the ground, with Ao and Mei pointing kunai at his eyes, while Chojuro unsheathed his massive sword. Naruto-kun is not a demon. He just saved your miserable ass. Now heal him, or I will kill you. Mei shouted angrily. The doctor gulped, very well, he growled. I will heal it, but it's not staying in this hospital. Mei growled, but allowed the doctor to heal Naruto's wounds. He should be fine within a week, but since he has that thing inside him, he will be fine by tomorrow. With that the doctor left, leaving a fuming Mizukage and her guards. Let's take him to the hotel, Mei said, shunning to her room, where she dropped Naruto on her bed. Ow, Chojuro, she said, turning to her still fuming guards. I don't want anyone else other than the Hokage and Naruto's sensei to enter. Ao and Chojuro both nodded, yes Mizukage-sama. They chorused, before leaving. Mei looked at the unconscious teen. Your father would be very proud of you Naruto-kun, she said, kissing his forehead, causing Naruto to smile in his sleep. Naruto grumbled as he awoke, what the hell? He muttered, as he looked around, only to find that he was not anywhere he recognized. Not my apartment, definitely not the hospital, where the hell am I? At this the door opened to reveal Mei, you're finally awake. She exclaimed, rushing over to embrace the blonde, who blushed as his head was shoved into her. Kid we got to almost die more often. Kurama cheered, proud that his host found such an attractive vixen. Mei-chan can't breathe. Naruto gasped. Mei instantly released him, laughing slightly at his red cheeks. You would think you would be used to my hugs by now. She laughed. Naruto blushed, and changed the subject. How long have I been asleep? Mei shrugged, 2 days. She replied. Damn, Naruto whistled, before he remembered something. Oh yeah, what happened to Sakura and Sasuke? Mei's eyes darkened, the Uchiha is still in the hospital. As for the Haruno, she hasn't left her, precious Sasuke-kun. Naruto nodded, slightly disappointed that the only healthy member of his team hadn't visited him. And Kakashi-sensei? He asked. Mei smiled, he dropped by yesterday, she informed him. Naruto gawked, Kakashi-sensei has been visiting me? He asked himself, thrilled at the thought of his sensei actually caring about his health. How did the invasion go? He asked her. Mei shrugged, deciding to play with the blonde. Not too bad, she informed the relieved blonde. I only fought not only the first Hokage, but the second Hokage as well as Orochimaru. She finished proudly. Naruto's eyes widened. What? He shouted, springing to his feet. Damn Kit, Kurama said impressed. Mei nodded, and told Naruto everything that happened after he chased after Gaara. And, after calming the blonde who tried to sprint out the door and to the hospital when he was told of what happened to his Gigi, Mei asked him to tell him what happened in the forest. Naruto smirked, and he told her about his battle with Gaara, causing the red-headed Kage to giggle as he used sound effects to make his story more interesting. So what you are telling me, Mei began slowly. You single-handedly fought not only Gaara, but Shukaku the one-tailed Biju? And you managed to defeat both? Naruto nodded, blushing slightly under her odd expression. I had help, he said modestly. And I would have been crushed if Kurama hadn't helped. Mei nodded. Tell Kurama thank you, she said. Finally some damn respect. The fox shouted happily, taking a great liking to the Mizukage. Naruto groaned. You just had to say that, he complained. Kurama is going to be such a pain in the ass now. Mei giggled and offered him a hand. Come on. Seeing his confused face, Mei sighed. Don't you want to visit your teammate and your Hokage? Naruto immediately bolted out the door, with Mei following closely behind. I'll take that as a yes, she thought with a sweat drop. Arriving at the hospital, Naruto decided to visit his Gigi first. Walking over to the receptionist, he smiled. Hello miss, he greeted, only to get a sneer in return. I'm here to visit Hokage Gigi. I'm sorry but the Hokage cannot be visited right now, the receptionist informed him with a victorious smirk. How come? Naruto asked, while Mei, Ao, and Chojuro narrowed their eyes at the woman. Because de Uzumaki-san, the receptionist spat, the Hokage is injured, and it would be very foolish to have anyone visit him while he was weakened. Naruto nodded, ignoring the woman's obvious contempt. Okay then, can I visit my teammate? The receptionist merely scowled, annoyed that the demon brat hadn't left. Who is your teammate? She asked through gritted teeth. Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto informed her. The receptionist sighed. Very well, she muttered. Uchiha-sama is in room 318, now leave. Thank you miss, Naruto smiled politely, receiving a glare in return. Come on guys. He motioned to his friends, who followed after glaring at the receptionist. Don't worry Naruto-kun, Mei said loud enough for the receptionist to hear. I will inform the Hokage about the hospital's receptionist's lack of respect towards a shinobi. Not to mention the Mizukage, Ao spoke, causing the receptionist to pale. It is okay guys honestly, Naruto said, scratching the back of his head as they walked up the stairs. I'm used to it. You shouldn't be used to such animosity, Mei responded indignant. Can we talk about this later? Naruto begged, as they arrived at room 318. Fine, but I will inform the Hokage. Mei promised as Naruto opened the door. How you feeling Teme? Naruto joked, as Sasuke looked at the door, an almost pleading expression on his face. Oh Sasuke-kun has been doing marvelous, Sakura informed the group. I haven't left his side since he arrived here. She informed them, looking at her crush with hearts in her eyes. Please, Sasuke whispered, so low that Sakura couldn't hear, but Naruto, Mei, Ao and Chojuro could. If there is a god out there, please kill me or her, I'm not too picky. This statement caused all who could hear to laugh. What's so funny? Sakura asked confused. Nothing Sakura, Naruto covered, still laughing. Then why are you laughing? The pink-haired banshee asked exasperated. Do not worry yourself about it Haruno-san, Mei said frostily, annoyed at the girl who put Kunoichi everywhere to shame. Hey Dobi, Sasuke said, getting everyone's attention. What happened after Sakura and I left? I tried asking her but she doesn't know. At this he scowled, both annoyed at his pink-haired teammate's lack of information, and ashamed that he couldn't defeat Gaara. Naruto shrugged. Gaara went batshit, so I kicked his ass. He informed him, only to get smacked lightly in the head by Mei. Naruto, manners, she said, smiling deadly. Why yes Mei-chan, Naruto stammered, only to get a look of confusion from Sasuke. Hey Dobi, who is she? He asked, pointing to Mei, who introduced herself. I am Mei Terumi, 5th Mizukage of Kiri. How do you know the Dobi? Sasuke asked, smirking as Naruto looked offended at his continued taunts. I am his fiancé via marriage contract, Mei informed him, only for Sasuke to get wide-eyed. Damn Dobi, what the hell did I miss? He deadpanned. A lot, Naruto informed him, smirking at his best friend/rival. Well moving on from that, Sasuke said, still shocked. How did you defeat Gaara when I couldn't, even with the cursed mark? I told you, Naruto began, only to get cut off by Sasuke. I don't mean how you defeated him, I mean how did you defeat Gaara, when I know for a fact he was only getting started? Naruto shrugged, but was interrupted by Sakura. Obviously you weakened him, Sasuke-kun, she said, hearts in her eyes. Because there's no way Naruto Baka could defeat someone that you couldn't. Ao and Chojuro scowled, while Naruto looked sad that his teammate thought so low of him. Haruno, what have I told you about insulting Naruto-kun in front of me? Mei asked, not even caring to smile. Sakura gulped, I told you never to insult Naruto. Mei snarled, getting fed up with the pink-haired girl's fangirl ways. Sasuke looked at Sakura and sighed, knowing that she probably just signed her death warrant. Dobi, fight me, he challenged the blonde, shocking everyone in the room. Naruto shrugged, short Teme, once you get out of here we'll spar. No, I want to fight you right now. Sasuke growled, getting out of bed, already dressed, and strapping his kunai holster to his right leg. In a hospital? Naruto asked confused, while Mei and her guards just watched. No, on the roof. Naruto sighed, he knew Sasuke, he was arrogant, obsessed with killing his brother, and never gave up once he set his mind to something. Fine, Naruto said, shocking everyone minus Sakura, who was convinced Sasuke would win easily. Naruto-kun, are you sure? Mei asked worriedly, you just woke up today, you shouldn't be sparing. Don't worry Mei-chan, I'll be fine. Naruto assured her, calming her nerves down slightly. Lead the way Teme. Sasuke merely snorted before walking out the door and towards the staircase. I still don't think this is a good idea, Mei said, as they arrived at the roof. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Naruto assured her before turning towards Sasuke, who was already in a battle stance. You ready Teme? Bring it on Dobi, Sasuke said before activating his dojutsu, the Sharingan. Naruto created several clones, all of whom charged the Uchiha, who dispatched them easily thanks to his Sharingan. Yeah, way to go Sasuke-kun. Sakura cheered, but was quieted almost immediately by a glare from Mei. Is that all you got Dobi? Sasuke taunted. You wish Teme, Naruto countered before charging Sasuke, and kicking him, sending him spiraling backwards. Good warm-up Dobi, Sasuke smirked before going through a few hand signs. However, I am not interested in your taijutsu, I know I am far superior in that aspect. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. Naruto easily dodged the fireball before going through a few hand signs of his own. You thirsty Teme? Water release, water bullet. Sasuke rolled out of the way of the projectiles, smirking all the way. When did you learn water jutsu Dobi? Not just water Teme, Naruto smirked, but fire and wind as well. Sasuke narrowed his eyes, how does the Dobi have 3 affinities? I would show you some wind jutsu, but the only ones I know require my katana, which I left at Mei-chan's room. Naruto obliviously said, shocking Sasuke and Sakura, and causing Mei to blush slightly at the insinuation. Sasuke blinked a few times, and said the only thing that came to his mind, the hell? Fire release. Fireball jutsu. Both yelled, causing both of their fireballs to explode. Both ninja looked at each other, both panting heavily, having not been able to fully rest from their fights. What say one big finisher move Teme? Naruto asked, summoning a clone to help him form a Rasengan, while Sasuke formed a Chidori. Rasengan, Naruto yelled, rushing forward. Chidori, Sasuke roared, running towards the blonde. Mei's eyes widened, and she was about to intercept the two, but was stopped by 2 other shinobi, one she recognized as Naruto's sensei Kakashi. The other was an older man with waist-length spiky white hair. Calm down Gaki, the white-haired man ordered, as he gripped Naruto's shoulder. Calm down Sasuke, Kakashi ordered as well, and both reluctantly cancelled their jutsu. Pervy sensei, when did you get here? Naruto asked the white-haired man, who smacked him on the head. How many times have I told you to stop calling me that Gaki? Ow, Chojuro, and Mei simply watched the two in amusement. I don't know, Naruto shrugged. I lost count, he said, scratching the back of his head. Excuse me, Mei interrupted, sensing a massive amount of chakra coming from the man. Who are you? The man looked at Mei and smiled. Ah, Mizukage-sama, a pleasure. He said, bowing politely, before looking at Naruto with a rather perverted grin. Nice score Gaki, he complimented, causing Naruto to erupt into a full-scale blush. Shut up you damn pervert. He yelled. Still laughing, Jiraiya turned to the bemused Mei. I am Jiraiya, Toad Sage of Mount Myoboku, one of the legendary Sannin, and author of the Icha Icha series. He completed with a grin. Mei, who had previously been watching the rather eccentric man in awe, growled. Oh, so you're the one who writes that smut? She asked, a sickly sweet smile on her face. Jiraiya paled. Why yes ma'am? He asked, having been warned about the Mizukage's evil grin, as it was called in Kiri, by one of his informants. Good, Mei said, cracking her knuckles threateningly. Now I know who to thank for causing most of my male elite jonin to turn into a bunch of closet perverts. I had to shut down the hot springs. She yelled, stalking towards the cowering Sannin, while her guards and everyone else just watched, not daring to move to help either party. Mei-chan? Naruto asked tentatively, worried she was going to kill the closest thing he had to a father. Mei looked at Naruto. Yes? Are you going to kill Pervy Sensei? He asked. Mei shrugged. The thought has crossed my mind, she admitted, causing Jiraiya to gulp. However, she said, getting Naruto and Jiraiya's attention. If your sensei swears to never try to convert you into a pervert, I will let him live. Jiraiya paled and seemed to weigh his options. Is there a third option? He asked weakly, only to receive a glare. Guess not, he muttered, before sighing. I had so many plans to convert little Naruto to the dark side of the perv too. He cried, as Mei nodded. Sasuke and Sakura merely watched in bemusement. Ao merely sighed, having already known that this was going to happen, as he too loved Jiraiya's books. Sensei? Naruto asked the still shell-shocked Sannin, who looked at him. Not that I'm not happy to see you, but what are you doing here? Jiraiya blinked, momentarily forgetting why he had tracked down the Gaki. The council requests an audience with both you and the Mizukage, he informed him, getting mixed responses. Naruto looked confused, while Mei scowled. Mei-chan, I understand, but why me? Naruto asked, getting a shrug in response. Well, no need to keep them waiting, he said, shrugging, before waving goodbye to his team. Sasuke, we will finish this later, he informed the brooding Uchiha, who smirked. Later Kakashi-sensei, Sakura. With that, the Sannin, Kage, Jinchuriki, and guards all left towards the Hokage tower. So Gaki, Jiraiya spoke, getting bored of the silence. How was your fight with the sand Jinchuriki? Naruto grinned, and began to describe in great detail his fight with Gaara, which lasted until they arrived at the Hokage tower. Hello Jiraiya-sama. Mizukage-sama, the receptionist greeted kindly. Jiraiya grinned rather perversely. Hello beautiful, he flirted, only to be silenced by a glare from Mei. She could put Tsunade to shame with those glares. He thought fearfully, as Mei informed the rather relieved-looking receptionist that they were requested for a meeting. Ah yes, the council is waiting for you in the conference room. The women informed them, getting a thank you from Mei, before they began walking. Arriving at the wooden door, Jiraiya turned to Naruto, all playfulness gone from his voice. Naruto, he said dead serious. Whatever the council wants, it has to have something to do with you and Kyuubi, and most likely Mei-sama. Naruto nodded, just as serious as his sensei. Don't worry sensei, he smiled. The council has been trying to turn me into a weapon since I could walk. They aren't going to succeed just because Gigi is out of commission. Jiraiya nodded, and opened the door, revealing all of the council, both shinobi and civilian. Ah Jiraiya, the third Hokage's advisor Danzo greeted. It is good to see you. Jiraiya merely nodded, likewise Danzo. Now, what is so important that you needed my presence as well as my students and the Mizukage? Actually Jiraiya-sama, Kaharu, one of the third's old teammates spoke up, her beady eyes narrowed slightly. The Mizukage and the boy are the reason we have called this meeting. Her other teammate Homura nodded. Jiraiya narrowed his eyes, as did Mei. And what is this reason? The Toad Sage asked impatiently. Danzo smirked. There are actually two reasons. 1. The Uzumaki brat fled in the middle of the invasion to chase after a shinobi who the Uchiha had already given chase to. He must be punished for desertion. 2. Before he could continue, he was interrupted by an extremely angered Mei. How dare you? She yelled angrily. If Naruto-kun had not given chase to Gaara, then Gaara would have been able to release his Biju unhindered. And as for the Uchiha handling it, that is false. Sasuke Uchiha was already defeated when Naruto arrived, and he had already been forced to rely on the power of the cursed mark. She finished, glaring at the council, who began to sweat. That's impossible. One civilian councilwoman yelled. There is no way Uchiha-sama lost so easily. The demon brat must have harmed him. Jiraiya and Mei both glared at the woman. Are you insinuating that Naruto, my student, injured a fellow shinobi just to get a chance to fight a Jinchuriki whose Biju had complete control? Jiraiya roared, causing the civilian woman to lower her head in shame, not daring to answer. Kaharu chose now to speak. That is another problem that must be dealt with, she said smugly. How do we know that the boy can keep his Biju in check if the Jinchuriki for the one-tails couldn't? Kurama growled. Did they just compare me to the crazy-ass Tanuki? He asked indignant. I believe so. Jiraiya smirked at this. Do not worry, he said proudly. Naruto has complete control of his Biju. He informed them, shocking everyone. Then he must be made into a weapon. Another civilian yelled, getting murmurs of approval. Mei silently sibbed. How dare they? She raged. Ah, but that is a shinobi matter, Jiraiya again smirked. And as you are a civilian, you have no say in what happens to my student. The civilian merely scowled. Besides, Jiraiya decided to ruin all hopes of turning Naruto into a mindless killing machine right now. As my apprentice, Naruto has all the rights I do. Meaning he cannot be made into a mindless killing machine. Danzo sighed. He knew that to become Hokage he would need the Kyuubi, but now was not the time. I believe we have moved a bit off topic, now to cast a vote on Uzumaki's charge of desertion? Murmurs rang out, before the gathered shinobi nodded. Very well, Danzo said. Those in favor of punishment? Naruto, Mei, and Jiraiya watched in horror as all of the civilians and most of the shinobi raised their hands. Those against? Danzo asked smugly, receiving very few votes. Very well, Naruto Uzumaki, your punishment shall be chosen at a later date. Now reason 2 for summoning this council. Naruto Uzumaki is our Jinchuriki, and as such a very valuable asset. And because of this, we can't have our weapon marrying someone from another village now, can we? Naruto scowled, but it was nothing compared to Mei. So, she asked in a cold voice. You wish for the marriage contract to be void? She asked them, receiving nods. Yes, Mizukage, a brave civilian woman spoke up. A woman in your position should not be engaged to such filth, however. Here she smiled, ignoring the large amount of killer intent aimed at her from Jiraiya and Mei for the filth comment. If you still wish to be married to someone from Konoha, I am sure that Uchiha-sama is a far more worthy person. Kurama chuckled evilly. Poor human, the mighty Biju said in mock sadness. She has no idea that she has just put her head on the chopping block. Mei growled. Don't ever call Naruto-kun filth in front of me. Your request is denied. Naruto's heart soured. He still had a chance at being happy. Danzo smirked. You are forgetting that Naruto is our Jinchuriki, he cannot be given to Kiri. Mei smirked. Ah, but the Hokage and I have already discussed this, she informed them. Naruto-kun will become the ambassador to both of our villages, and therefore will be able to live in whatever village he wants. Mei smirked victoriously. Jiraiya was about to put in his 2 cents when he sensed a chakra signature outside the door, causing him to smirk evilly. The Mizukage speaks the truth, Danzo, Hiruzen stated coldly, walking into the conference room. I was not informed that we were having a meeting, he stated frostily. As Hokage it is my duty to preside at all meetings, as I am the leader of this village, not the council. Danzo, we shall discuss this later, Naruto-kun, all charges are being dropped. End of discussion, he roared, as shouts of protest were heard. Now leave us, he ordered the council, who grumbled, but began to file out. Gigi, Naruto yelled happily, embracing the older man, who smiled. Naruto-kun, it is good to see you out and about, he said, before turning towards Mei and Jiraiya. I must thank you for assisting Naruto in the meeting. Mei waved it off, while Jiraiya merely smirked proudly. Of course, he boasted, striking a pose. I am the legendary Toad Sage after all. Naruto just sighed. Yeah, sensei skipped to the end. This caused Jiraiya to deflate, pouting slightly. Gaki, when are you going to learn that the dance is needed for someone like me? He asked annoyed. When you stop peeking on woman, Naruto responded cryptically. Jiraiya pouted, causing Hiruzen to laugh. Jiraiya, you really have trained a perfect copy of yourself, minus the perversion. Hey, Naruto yelled indignant, I take that offensively. I am nothing like this pervert over here. Jiraiya smirked. Oh really now Gaki? He asked amused. So you don't know how to summon toads? You don't know how to use the Rasengan? You aren't learning Fuinjutsu? Naruto gaped, and then looked horrified. Oh god, he muttered in mock distress. It's true, I really am turning into pervy sage. Next thing I know I'll be writing smut, and growing my hair out. Hey, don't you dare insult the hair Gaki. Jiraiya yelled playfully. Mei giggled, happy that at least a few people in Konoha cared for Naruto. Why not? Naruto asked, a smirk on his face. It makes you look like a woman. You take that back, make me. Hiruzen sighed, every time, he muttered. Alright you two, that is enough. Jiraiya tell Naruto why you are really here. Naruto looked confused, as did Mei. Jiraiya smirked, simple. He explained to his confused student. Sarutobi sensei feels that he is getting too old for the job, so you and I are going to go find the next candidate, my former teammate. You mean the snake pedophile? Naruto asked dumbly. No you idiot. Tsunade Senju, the slug princess, and the greatest medic in the world. Jiraiya informed him, sounding too much like a fanboy. Wait Senju? Mei asked curiously. I thought the Senju clan had died out. Hiruzen nodded. You are correct Mizukage-sama, he informed her. The Senju are indeed extinct. Tsunade is the last Senju, and since the death of her former lover Dan Kato, she has sworn to never marry. Mei nodded, feeling bad for the last Sannin. So where is the old lady? Naruto asked curiously, only for Jiraiya to shrug. If she is anything like I remember we can probably find her in a casino. Mei raised an eyebrow. No disrespect Hokage-sama, she said. But are there any normal Sannin? Hiruzen laughed. Unfortunately no, he answered. Jiraiya here is a well-known pervert. Tsunade is a compulsive gambler, and Orochimaru well. He is the biggest, creepiest teme ever. Jiraiya finished, proud of how his master described him. Mei nodded, yes, when I fought him I was afraid I may have to throw up. She admitted. Jiraiya nodded knowingly, he did that skin-shedding jutsu didn't he? He asked, laughing at the Mizukage's disgusted nod. Naruto looked at them. Yeah the snake pedo did that after Sasuke burned him in the forest. He informed them, shuddering. So when do you leave? Mei asked, slightly disappointed that Naruto had to leave the village. Tomorrow, Jiraiya informed the pair. Gaki tomorrow meet me at the north gate at 9 in the morning. He said, before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. He really needs to teach me that, Naruto grumbled. Yes well, I am sure Mei-sama would like to spend the rest of the day with you before you both leave. Hiruzen said, confusing Naruto even more. Both? He asked curiously. Yes Naruto-kun. Sarutobi responded patiently, she is the Mizukage after all. She can't leave her village unattended for too long. Naruto nodded, see you later then Gigi. He waved, before grasping Mei's hand. Come on Mei-chan, where do you want to go? Hiruzen chuckled as he watched the two argue playfully about where they would eat lunch, while her guards merely sighed. She's good for him, he mused, before going to his office. Naruto readjusted his katana, before complaining. Where the hell is he? Mei, and her guards, laughed. Having come with him to see him off. Well he is a Sannin, Ao mused. Maybe he was needed elsewhere? Naruto scoffed. Knowing pervy sensei? He's probably at the hot springs. Mei's eyes narrowed, remind me to never go there when I am here. She told the impatient blonde, who laughed. Sensei isn't stupid, he informed her. He won't peek on you, not if he wants to live. He added with a grumble. Who wants to live? Jiraiya asked, as he walked towards them, his notepad still out. Hopefully you, Naruto replied grumpily, but brightened as he remembered something. Hey sensei, what is the rank for this mission? Jiraiya's sweat dropped, is he bipolar? What do you think the rank is? He asked the blonde, silently apologizing to his sensei. Naruto grinned, well, since we are looking for the future Hokage, I think it is at least an A- rank. He smiled triumphantly. Jiraiya smirked, A rank it is, sorry sensei. Yes, my second A rank mission. In your face Sasuke duck butt teme. Naruto pumped his fist into the air, while Kurama sighed. 1 minute he's serious, the next he's excited, and if you take away his ramen, he becomes the Shinigami on crack. I heard that you overgrown plushie. Naruto said, laughing at the growls he received. I am not a damn plushie. Stop calling me that. What are you going to do? Give me a headache? Naruto taunted, only to scream. Damn it, I'm sorry. Take a joke, he yelled, as Kurama pounded on the gate to his cage, causing him a massive headache. Mei merely turned to Jiraiya. A second A rank? She asked, confused. Jiraiya waved his hand dismissively. Oh, you know the usual, he informed her. Genin get fed up with chasing Demon Cat. Genin demand C rank. C rank turns into A rank when Zabuza Momochi turns up. Mei's eyes widened, as did Chojiro's. Why, you mean Z Zabuza Senpai is dead? He asked, shocked. Jiraiya nodded, and Mei looked stunned. I heard rumors, she muttered, odd. But Zabuza? He was one of the strongest swordsmen we had. Even if he did defect. Naruto, who had recovered from Kurama's attack, intervened. Wait, you mean the eyebrow-less Teme? The guy with the really big butcher knife? Chojiro deadpanned. Yes, and Naruto, he said simply. Oh, Naruto said. Yeah, he was a real douche. All Kiri ninja just gawked. Jiraiya fell over from laughing. Mei just shook her head. Well, I'll see you later, Naruto-kun. She said as she embraced him. Naruto nodded, it's a promise. Try not to screw up, kid, Ao teased, and Naruto pouted. I'm not that bad. Ao just laughed, and Chojiro shook Naruto's hand. Be safe, and Naruto. He said in his quiet voice. Naruto smirked, you know me. That's what they are afraid of, Gaki. Jiraiya laughed, as they began to walk out the gates. So what are you teaching me first, pervy sensei? Naruto asked excitedly. Jiraiya scowled at the nickname. Well, your fire and water jutsu arsenal is pretty good, he mused. I'll teach you some wind jutsu. Do you still need a clone to form a Rasengan? Naruto nodded, slightly embarrassed. Yeah, I still can't create the shell, he admitted, referring to the harder layer of chakra that kept the Rasengan from dispersing. Jiraiya nodded. Okay, when we get to the first town, I'll have you try to make one using less and less help from your clone. Naruto nodded, then remembered what he had just said. Wait, you're not going to teach me anything until we get to the hotel? Jiraiya laughed and nodded, of course. He explained, reveling in the indignant look on his student's face. Tsunade is a censor, he explained, and when he got a blank look he sighed. A censor is a person who can feel chakra, no matter how small. He said patiently. So? Naruto asked, confused. What's that have to do with anything? Jiraiya bonked his godson on the head. Idiot. The Rasengan was invented by your father. It feels completely different than any other jutsu. Now, there are only 3 people alive who can use it. Me, you, and Kakashi. If Tsunade felt it, she'll know that most likely I am here, and then she'll leave. Naruto sighed, but accepted it. But wait, he pointed at the both of them. Don't we both have extremely high chakra levels? Jiraiya looked proudly at his pupil. Yes, we do actually. He said proudly, and because of that, once we get to the town she's in, I'm going to put a chakra-suppressing seal on the both of us. Don't worry, he said, as he noticed Naruto's worried expression. It only masks the chakra, it doesn't drain it. If it did, it would take God knows how long with Kurama in you. Told you I'm useful, kid, Kurama said in a smug voice. Yeah, and you'd be even more useful if I could deflate that ego of yours. Kurama growled, my ego is not that big. Naruto laughed. And Sakura isn't a fangirl. Don't compare me to the Banshee. Why? With how much you're yelling, your full name could be Kurama Haruno. Naruto laughed as Kurama, the Kyuubi no Kitsune, the strongest Biju in the world, appeared to be sick. Don't even joke about that. Kurama said, disgusted. On a lighter note though, I'm happy you finally got over that crush you had on her. Do you even know how many concussions and broken eardrums I have had to heal? Naruto laughed, causing Jiraiya to look at him funny, then shrug. I am too, Kurama, and yes I do. I mean seriously, Kurama grumbled. What was Hiruzen thinking putting us on a team with the emo Avenger, a Cyclops, and a fangirl? Kakashi is alright, and so is Sasuke if you can get him to say more than a grunt. Sakura, well, she has potential, and a lot of it. She just needs to stop fawning over Sasuke. Kurama laughed darkly. I don't think we have to worry about that. If your vixen has her way, I am sure she will beat the Banshee out of her fangirl ways. I sure hope so. Wait. Kurama, she is not my vixen. Naruto shouted, turning red. Unfortunately, Jiraiya saw this. What's wrong, Gaki? He asked in a perverted voice. Are you thinking of the Mizukage by chance? Kurama howled in his cage. Shut up both of you. Naruto yelled embarrassed. We've only been gone what, half an hour? And you already miss her? Jiraiya laughed, before pulling out a notebook. Or did she promise you a congratulatory gift should you return with Tsunade? He laughed perversely, writing notes in his book. Fire release. Fireball jutsu. Naruto growled, launching a fireball at the notebook, causing Jiraiya to look at him in horror. You little bastard, he said in horror. That had all the notes for my next book. Naruto smirked proudly. So? He asked. Mei-chan, Ayame Ne-chan, and every other girl will be thanking me on bended knee for that crap. He moaned, as Jiraiya pulled out another notebook and began to write, muttering. Yes, a young man saves a group of women, and they follow him on his adventures, as he saves even more women, and they all thank him most generously. It will be my next bestseller. Kid, you kind of walked into this one. Kurama noted deadpanned. Thank you Gaki, Jiraiya said happily, after writing about 2 pages worth of notes. Now, since we can't work on any chakra-related lessons, we are going to sharpen your mind. Naruto looked at him confused. But who's going to teach me? Jiraiya deadpanned. I am Gaki, I am. Naruto blinked, but I thought we were working on knowledge? We are. Naruto sighed, if I have to learn something, I'd rather it not be perverted. I know non-perverted things as well Gaki. Jiraiya snapped, before going through the history of the elemental nations. 5 hours of walking. Naruto's head was throbbing. How does he expect me to remember all of this crap? He asked himself, as Jiraiya went through the full history of Tsunade. Kurama yawned widely, having decided to take a nap. Well, talking to yourself instead of listening isn't going to help any. He commented dryly. Shut up you lazy ass fox. Kurama snorted, you're just mad because I can tune the old pervert out. And so the second cage declared peace, Gaki? Gaki pay attention. Jiraiya snapped, bonking the blonde on the head. What? Oh sorry pervy sensei, Kurama was talking to me. Jiraiya scowled at the nickname. Well I guess it can't be helped, and stop calling me that. Not until you stop being a pervert. Naruto countered. Kurama sighed. Why must these idiots always do this? The Biju asked, as his host and his host's mentor began to argue. The argument that ensued lasted for over half an hour, when they came into sight of a small village. Face it Gaki, you will one day understand why I am a super pervo. Look the village. Jiraiya said in bemusement. Thank God, I'm starving. Naruto complained, grabbing his stomach, which growled. Yeah, here's some money, try not to get into trouble. Jiraiya said amused, as he tossed Naruto a roll of money. Naruto smirked, as they entered the village. Wait, where are you going sensei? He asked the toad sage, who shrugged. I'm going to ask around, see if anybody's seen Tsunade. He explained, as he walked away, before yelling over his shoulder. We're only passing through Gaki, don't get too comfortable. Naruto grumbled a few chosen words for his sensei as he looked for a ramen shop, finding one he smiled and entered. Welcome young traveler, an elderly woman said kindly, before taking in his outfit. Are you a ninja by chance? She asked, only to receive a nod. Yes ma'am, Naruto said happily. Really? What's that like? A younger woman asked, leaning forward from her stool. Naruto shrugged, the training is hard, but I love it. You must be really strong then, the elderly woman laughed, before asking him what he'd like. 3 of your biggest miso ramen please. The woman raised an eyebrow, but complied. So, the younger woman asked, have you been on any difficult missions? Naruto laughed as he thought about Wave, you could say that. He shrugged. I'm Nata, the woman said, extending a hand to the blonde, who shook it. Naruto Uzumaki. Nice to meet you Naruto, Nata said happily, as she began to eat her ramen. Here you go, the elderly woman said as she put the bowls of ramen on the counter. Naruto cheered as he dug in, causing both women to laugh. You really like ramen huh? Nata asked still chuckling. Naruto shrugged, as he moved on to his second bowl. Now Nata, is that a bad thing? The elderly woman chuckled. Naruto, who had finished his second, heard this. Finally, everyone I knows always gives me crap because I eat a lot of ramen. Kurama snorted, Kid, you could feed a starving country with the amount of ramen you eat. Naruto ignored his tenant and instead chose to listen to Nata. Well seeing how much you are eating now, can you really blame them? she asked amused. Naruto shrugged and began to eat again. The elderly woman just laughed. So what are you doing all the way out here? She asked the blonde, who had finished his meal. I'm looking for someone, he informed them. Can you describe them? Maybe we can help, Nada suggested. Naruto racked his brain trying to remember what Jiraiya had told him. Blonde hair, looks around her mid-20s, brown eyes, loves gambling and drinking, big s. She's also traveling with a pet pig, and a young woman with shoulder-length black hair. The old woman laughed. Sorry, haven't seen anyone like that around. Naruto nodded, expecting it. Why are you looking for them? Nada asked interested. Are they criminals? Naruto shook his head, thinking about how much he should tell them. No the blonde is a powerful kunoichi who went missing. We are merely trying to make sure that they are alive. Both women nodded, accepting his answer. Well ladies, I have to leave now, Naruto said, as he paid for the bill before stepping outside, and began looking for Jiraiya. Where could the old pervert be? Naruto wondered as he began walking. Really Kit? Kurama deadpanned. Think about it. Where did you first meet the pervert? At the hot spring. At this, Naruto cursed. I'm an idiot. That much is obvious, Naruto's tenant remarked amused, only for Naruto to cut their connection off. It took less than 5 minutes for Naruto to track down his sensei's chakra, even if he was hiding it. Naruto sighed as he approached a giggling bush. Going through a few hand signs, Naruto smirked and inwardly thanked Kakashi. Leaf Village Secret Finger Jutsu, 1000 Years of Death. Jiraiya screamed shrilly as he was propelled over the hot springs wall and into the female side. Naruto chuckled as he heard the voice of dozens of women scream, and the pain-riddled yelps of Jiraiya, who appeared a few minutes later. Gaki run, he screamed fearfully, already in motion. Why would I? Oh God, Naruto paled as he saw the door to the female's side open to reveal several angered women, all who glared at him. Are you with that pervert? One woman asked, wrapping a towel firmly around her. Naruto gulped. No? He asked, only to curse as the women ran at him, intent on taking their anger out on someone. After outrunning the angered women, Naruto found his sensei waiting at the outskirts of the village. Naruto glared at him. What the hell, sensei? He asked angrily. In my defense, I did say, run. Jiraiya defended himself while laughing. Come on Gaki, we have a future Hokage to find. Naruto followed him, mumbling stuff about stupid old perverts, and how they could never go back to that village. The hours seemed to pass by much too slow for Naruto, who was currently thinking of ways to kill himself. Come on Kit, what the pervert is teaching you are important. Kurama laughed. Naruto just groaned, his head was hurting too much. Pervy sensei, it is getting dark, Naruto commented, if only to stop Jiraiya from speaking. Yes I know that, the toad sage huffed. The village is not that far from here, we will arrive within the hour. Naruto just blinked. We've been traveling for about 12 hours, right? He asked. That sounds about right, Jiraiya nodded. Then what is Tsunade doing so close to the village? I thought you said she hated it. Jiraiya laughed. Oh, she hates it all right. He informed his confused student. But the village is a gambling hotspot, that's actually how it gets its income. Naruto just shrugged, and began a mental game of hangman with Kurama to pass the time. Jiraiya was right, the village was a gambling hotspot. Casinos littered the small village, as did bars. Naruto wrinkled his nose. So what now? He asked. Jiraiya shrugged. Now we find a hotel, in the morning we'll look for her. With that, Jiraiya steered them towards a decently priced hotel. Naruto sighed as he fell face first into his preferred mattress. It was still early in the night, but Naruto was mentally exhausted, as it took a lot to exhaust him physically thanks to Kurama. Don't mention it Kit, Kurama snorted. Though your vixen will be thanking me. The fox grinned slyly. She's not my vixen you damn perverted fox. Naruto yelled, as he fell asleep. Naruto groaned as he was woken by knocking coming from his door. Grumbling, Naruto looked around, only to find Jiraiya gone, with a note saying that he was looking for Tsunade. I'm coming, he yelled in annoyance, as more knocking ensued. Yes? Naruto grumbled, but immediately took a step back in shock. You, he growled, pointing at what appeared to be an older Sasuke. Hello Naruto-kun, it's been a while. Itachi Uchiha said, stoic as ever. Naruto groaned and took a step back. Out of all the people, it had to be him. He cursed. You sure he isn't going to run? A blue-skinned man with gills asked. Because I could easily chop a leg or two off, just in case. Itachi sighed. No, Kisame, I do not believe that will be necessary. Any advice? Naruto asked Kurama while he glanced around, hoping for a way out. Yeah, run. Naruto-kun, I know what you are about to try, we only want to talk. Itachi said, while Kisame snorted. And why should I trust you, Weasel? Naruto snarled. Kisame looked at them curiously. Weasel? He asked. Itachi nodded. I was one of the Anbu that guarded him before I defected. Kisame began to laugh. That's rich. How does it feel, Nine Tails? The person who used to protect you is here to harm you. He roared, clutching his stomach while laughing. Naruto smirked. Hey, at least my skin isn't blue. He laughed before dispelling into a cloud of smoke, leaving two confused criminals. What the hell? Kisame yelled. Shadow clones, very clever, Naruto-kun. Itachi murmured, come on, Kisame. This is bad, this is really bad. Naruto yelled in his mind, as he ran from roof to roof. Where the hell is the damn pervert? He searched frantically for Jiraiya's chakra signature, then cursed. The chakra suppressors. How the hell am I going to find him now? Are you an idiot? Kurama asked, annoyed. Rip yours off. The old pervert would know something bad is up if he can suddenly sense your chakra. Naruto nodded, and reached for his left shoulder and ripped off a piece of paper. I must say, the calm voice of Itachi said from behind him. You are getting better, in fact, that seal you just removed allowed us to find you. Any more bright ideas? Naruto yelled angrily at his Biju, who shrugged. Hold them off until the pervert arrives. How do you expect me to do that? Keep them talking, it shouldn't take the old pervert long, Kurama said calmly, while he was actually unsure if his host could do it. Naruto turned around and groaned. What the hell do you want with me? He asked angrily. I told you, we just want to talk. Naruto snorted. Yeah, right. Because two S-class missing ninja are going to risk getting into a fight with Jiraiya of the Sannin, just to talk. Cheeky little brat, Kisame growled, as he hefted a massive sword, which was covered in bandages. Of course he's a swordsman of the mist. Naruto sighed, as he tried to remember all the living members that Chojuro told him about. Why, you're Kisame Hoshigaki, the monster of the bloody mist. He exclaimed, pointing at Kisame, who looked amused. Yes I am, he boasted. You're also one of the 7 deadly swordsmen who defected. Naruto pointed out. You are very well informed, Itachi noted. Yeah, how do you know all this? You don't strike me as the book-reading type. Kisame laughed. Naruto shrugged. I've met a couple of you, he admitted. Zabuza Momochi, and Chojuro. Although Chojuro wasn't an enemy. Kisame laughed. Chojuro? I have heard about that weakling, too loyal to that bitch of a Mizukage. Naruto saw red. What? He growled. Kisame looked at him and smirked. I take it you've met the whore? He laughed. Itachi sighed. Kisame, that is enough. You bastard? Naruto roared, as he channeled enough of Kurama's chakra to form his initial Jinchuriki stage. Kisame stopped laughing as he dodged a punch. What's wrong with the brat? He asked Itachi, who sighed. Were you paying any attention to the debriefing? Kisame chuckled and dodged a kick, before sending Naruto flying onto another roof. Not really. Why? Because, if you had paid attention, you would know that the 5th Mizukage has spent a large amount of time with him during the Chunin exams. There are even rumors that they are engaged to be married. Kisame blinked before laughing. Damn brat. He laughed at the still prone figure. I almost feel bad for taking him now, almost. He grinned as he jumped towards Naruto, who looked him in the eyes. Any last words, brat? Go to hell, Naruto spat, before he exploded, ripping the roof apart. Very impressive kit, now run. Kurama yelled, as Naruto hopped from roof to roof, only to be hit by a water bullet. Damn it, where the hell is that pervert? Naruto groaned, as he crashed into the roof. I was simply going to knock you unconscious, Kisame informed him, standing on another roof. But it appears you have made me mad. Water release, water bullet. Naruto rolled out of the way, but the shockwave from the impact still sent him spiraling away. Naruto groaned, it feels like Gaara all over again. Only this guy is twice as strong. Kurama commented. If it's a fight you want, Naruto groaned, it's a fight you are going to get. Wind release, 1000 blades. Unsheathing his katana, Naruto made several slashes in the air, which shredded everything in its path. Naruto cursed as Kisame dissolved into water, and Itachi puffed into smoke. Water clones and shadow clones? Where the hell is Jiraiya? Naruto grunted as Kisame kicked his back, nearly breaking his ribs. You are really annoying me, brat, Kisame growled, before hitting Naruto with a water bullet. Naruto grunted, as he rolled over, only to find Kisame had vanished. You got style, brat, Kisame's voice said from behind him. Naruto whipped around and tried to behead him, only for his sword to be blocked. You like Samahata? Kisame laughed, as his bandaged sword whipped around and struck Naruto's side, causing him to grunt, both in pain and surprise. Why do I feel weaker? Kisame finished for him, flashing his sharpened teeth. It's Samahata's ability, it can absorb chakra. And before you think about running to little old Nine Tails, Samahata can absorb his as well. Of course it can. Naruto yelled desperately, and dropped to his knees, as more and more of his chakra were sucked away. Soon Nine Tails, Kisame laughed, while Itachi simply watched, an unreadable expression on his face. How does it feel? Kisame gloated, while Naruto glared at him. How does it feel that what the hell? Kisame asked, as a slimy tongue wrapped around his midsection, before launching him away from Naruto, who sighed in relief. I leave you alone for half an hour, Gaki. And the damn Akatsuki finds you? Jiraiya yelled angrily, as he jumped next to his downed student. Pervy sensei, am I glad to see you, Naruto grinned, as Kurama refilled his chakra. Jiraiya, the Toad Sage of Mount Myoboku, one of the legendary Sannin, Itachi noted calmly. Kisame, we're leaving. What? Kisame asked angrily, as he disentangled himself from the toad's tongue. We cannot fight the Sannin, it will only result in the deaths of us both. Itachi said, before turning towards Naruto. We will be back for you, he promised, as he and Kisame began to flee. Where do you think you're going? Jiraiya asked, as he appeared in front of them, charging a Rasengan in his hand. Kisame, move, Itachi yelled, jumping out of the way. Kisame was not so lucky, having been caught mid-jump, and he was hit in the midsection, and sent flying into another roof. Amaterasu, Itachi yelled, as his Sharingan eyes morphed into a shuriken-like appearance. Jiraiya dodged the black flames before sending a fireball towards Itachi, who dodged. Kisame now, Itachi yelled, as he substituted himself with a log. Sad that I can't finish this fight, seemed like it would be fun. Kisame grinned, as he ran towards where Itachi was waiting. Are we just going to let them go? Naruto asked Jiraiya angrily, when he made no move to stop them. Yes, Jiraiya said reluctantly, because while scouting for Tsunade, I spotted Kabuto. Naruto looked at him blankly. You mean that idiot from the exams? Jiraiya nodded. That idiot is actually an S-rank ninja who works for Orochimaru, and he's actually Orochimaru's right-hand man. So if he's here, Naruto muttered, a feeling of dread coming to him. Jiraiya nodded grimly. Orochimaru won't be far behind. What are they doing here? Naruto wondered. Jiraiya shrugged. Could be a lot of things. He admitted. But seeing as how the Mizukage destroyed Orochimaru's arms, I am sure they are here for Tsunade to fix them. Naruto looked confused. Can't he just do that skin-shedding jutsu of his? He asked. Jiraiya shook his head. To much damage, he informed his student. Mei-sama melted everything from the elbow to the hand. That skin-shedding jutsu wouldn't work on such damage. Naruto nodded. What now? Jiraiya grinned. I can say for certain that she is here. It's only a matter of finding her. Do we split up? Naruto asked excitedly. Jiraiya frowned. It would be the fastest way, he theorized. However, with Orochimaru and Kabuto nearby, I don't think it's such a good idea. Naruto frowned. But won't he recognize you too? Jiraiya laughed. Kid, I'm a master of espionage. The snake won't even know I'm here. But what about me? Here, he said, handing him another chakra-suppressing seal. Use this and henge into somebody else, and nobody from Konoha. What would this do? Naruto asked, as he slapped the seal on his shoulder. It'll hide your chakra, and help mask the fact that you are in a henge. However, I wouldn't recommend walking too close to them. If you see them, run. Naruto nodded, and hanged before jumping off the roof. Guess I just ask around. He muttered. Half an hour later, Naruto was annoyed. His description of Tsunade fit way too many people, but none of them were seen with a pet pig and another woman. Damn it, how hard is it to find her? Naruto roared, shocking several civilians. Think, kid, think. We are looking for her. As such, our chakra is hidden, and hers will not be. Kurama said impatiently. Naruto's eyes widened. You're right, he said happily. Kurama snorted, of course I am. Naruto closed his eyes and began searching. Several chakra signatures appeared, but none of them stood out. Guess I'll have to widen my search a little, Naruto muttered, expanding his search when he cried out in victory. Yes, I found the old bat. He yelled joyously, running towards the chakra signature, only to deadpan. It's not even 10 in the morning, Naruto muttered annoyed. What the hell is she doing at a bar? Grumbling, Naruto opened the door and walked into the bar, dropping his henge on the way. There she is, pervy sensei you bastard. Naruto yelled in his mind indignant, as he saw his sensei drinking with a buxom blonde, while her dark-haired companion just watched. Hey Gaki. Jiraiya beckoned Naruto over, who scowled. What the hell pervy sensei? Naruto growled. I've been looking for the old bat for half an hour, and you already knew where she would be? Tsunade growled. Watch who you are calling old, brat. Naruto ignored her and looked at Jiraiya, who smirked. Of course, he said. I wanted you to sharpen your tracking skills. What about Orochimaru, or Itachi and the shark guy? Naruto snapped, not noticing that Tsunade choked on her sake when she heard Orochimaru. Jiraiya waved it off. First off, Orochimaru doesn't want you, he wants Tsunade. He pointed towards said Sannin, who scowled. Second, Itachi and the shark guy are not going to bother you now that they know that I am here. Naruto just scowled and crossed his arms, before remembering something. So what are we going to do about the snake pedophile? Jiraiya laughed at the nickname, before turning to Tsunade. Well? He prompted her, only for her to scowl. Why should I help you? And who the hell is this? Tsunade pointed at Naruto who growled. Jiraiya answered. First off, Orochimaru would kill you after you heal him. Second, this is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, and he's my apprentice. Naruto almost laughed as Tsunade and the dark-haired girl's eyes pooped. Wait, the girl said, pointing at Naruto. He's the son of the Yellow Flash? Jiraiya nodded. That is correct, Shizune. Wait, Tsunade said, how does he even know? I thought Sensei was going to tell him when he turned 16? Jiraiya laughed, and looked at Naruto. You want to explain this one? Naruto glared at him, still angry that he left him looking for somebody he had already found. Fair enough, Jiraiya smiled, his fiancée told him. He informed the two, only for Tsunade to again choke on sake. What the hell? She exclaimed. Jiraiya nodded sagely. I know, she's a looker too. I've never been more proud of the Gaki. Who is she? Tsunade asked, her hostile personality doing a complete 180 in the presence of gossip. Jiraiya smirked. He was enjoying this. Nobody special really, he said shrugging. Only the fifth Mizukage Mei Terumi. Shizune gaped, and Tsunade looked at Naruto, who was still glaring at Jiraiya. How the hell does he get engaged to the Mizukage? She asked incredulous, only for Naruto to growl. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Tsunade smirked. It means that a Gaki like you could not possibly get a cage. At least I'm not an old drunk. Naruto snapped, only for Shizune to groan. Stop calling me old you little brat. Tsunade growled, her eye twitching. What are you going to do about it? Naruto taunted. Outside. Now. Tsunade growled, finishing the sake in one gulp, before grabbing Naruto and shoving him outside. Naruto smirked as he picked himself up. Pervy sensei, are you sure she can become Kage? Aren't you afraid of her dropping dead from old age? Tsunade growled, I will never become Hokage. Naruto looked at her and cocked his head. Why not? Because the job is nothing but a curse. Tsunade growled. The job is for sentimental old fools who are willing to die for no reason. Jiraiya groaned. She just had to say that? He asked himself. That job is an honor to have. Naruto yelled. Those who are willing to lay down their lives for their village are beyond heroes. Tsunade scoffed. Are you going to fight me, or yell? She taunted. Fire release. Fireball jutsu. Naruto yelled, sending a fireball towards the slug Sannin, who lazily dodged. That all you got? Tsunade taunted. Shadow clone jutsu. Naruto roared, and roughly 30 clones appeared. 5 of which rushed her, but were easily dispelled. Water release. Gunshot. 5 of the clones yelled, as they launched several projectiles at Tsunade, who simply flicked them away. Fire release. Fireball jutsu. 5 yelled, which had the same results. 10 clones charged her, but she took them out by punching the ground, resulting in each clone exploding. Clever Gaki, Tsunade complimented. But if that is all, I would like to continue with my drink. Naruto growled, and had the last 10 of his clones create Rasengans. Naruto, along with 5 of his clones, charged the shocked Tsunade, who barely dodged them. What the hell, Jiraiya? She asked angrily, as she finished dispelling the clones, resulting in Naruto being sent flying into the side of a building. You taught him the Rasengan? Jiraiya smiled proudly. It's his birthright. Now, will you come with us? He asked seriously. Tsunade-sama, please. Shizune pleaded. Tsunade sighed, and walked towards Naruto, who was dusting himself off. Gaki, can you make a Rasengan without a clone? She asked. Naruto shook his head. No, I need a clone. He muttered, slightly shamed. Tsunade smirked. Okay, I'll make you a deal. You have 1 week to make a Rasengan without a clone. If you do, I'll come and be the Hokage. I'll even throw in my grandfather's necklace. Naruto smiled happily. You got it, Ba-chan. In 1 week I'll have the Rasengan mastered. Tsunade bonked Naruto on the head. Don't call me that. Naruto smirked. Not a chance. He declared, before turning to Jiraiya. Pervy sensei, I'm going to go train. Jiraiya nodded, and he dashed off. What was that about? Jiraiya inquired, only for Tsunade to shrug. The brat is like his father in the aspect that he can learn anything quickly. But he's also like his mother, he needs a challenge to do his best. Jiraiya raised an eyebrow. So you were planning on becoming Hokage the whole time? Tsunade nodded. I owe Minato and Kushina-chan a debt. She admitted, I wasn't there for my godson as he was growing up. I sure as hell am not going to miss any more of the brat's life. She declared, causing Jiraiya to laugh. I know how you feel, he said seriously. But what about Dan, and your little brother? Tsunade flinched. They would want me to do this, she said with certainty. Besides, the brat helped a lot. Jiraiya laughed. He tends to do that, he said, before turning serious. So what do you plan to do about Orochimaru? Tsunade smirked.
That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, share and do comments.